Duke Sorfel was the head of the Sorfel family. Once upon a time, there lived a stupid woman. The girl asked her dad to help her. She was hated and considered a villain. At home, they mocked her, a woman who knows nothing but cruelty. Even the cause of her death is laughable. Brother's revenge. Ravi Sorfel is the second son of Duke Sorfel. It's a pity that she died because she was drawn into brotherly revenge. The woman asked how the two of them dared to encroach on the life of her eldest son. This sin is too great to turn a blind eye to. She ordered them to be taken away. Once again, the man standing in front of her put an end to this unfortunate story. Ruville Sorfel was the eldest son of Duke Sorfel. She told her brother that she did not want to kill her, and she asked him to save her. And then she woke up in horror. This time the death was especially bloody. Well, at least it's not a guillotine. The main character asked her grandmother what she thought. Grandmother said that she saw her, but she didn't understand why this dream had not let her go for 20 years. This was completely incomprehensible. The girl asked her grandmother if she knew why this was so. Grandma is a ghost after all. She started seeing ghosts at age 5, when her mother died. The ghost whose head was twisted is a particularly talkative ghost. A ghost with difficult to distinguish outlines, there were many of them. She saw many scary creatures, but she was never afraid. If she is not afraid, then they will not touch her. TV broadcasting company. A studio. The man asked the girl to wait and stop. The scene was filmed. Miss Sia was very grateful for her work. It turned out to be a fruitful day. There is no fault with her work. The lady was grateful. The man was so pleased to work with her, as expected from a professional of her stature. National-level actress, top star, winner of the best fees. The description is striking in its appearance alone. Lee Si-ah began building this career at the age of 14 and continues to this day. Ji-hyun called the lady. The woman was surprised when she saw her. Thanks to her, she had a pleasant time. Lee Si-ah asked her what she was doing here. She thought that Ji should be in her home. Today she arrived in Seoul, and I came to thank her. Ji was grateful that she sent a wreath to the funeral. She was able to say goodbye to her grandmother properly, thanks to her assistance. Lee Si-ah said that it was okay because she was just worried about her condition. They say that she can predict fate. She never thought she would be able to foresee her grandmother's funeral. In fact, she came to her house. She begged her for help, so she simply had no choice. If only she knew how many nights of sleep she lost because of the request. Although she couldn't help but help Ji-hyun. She is her longtime colleague. Their manager also came yesterday. Ji said that, as she asked, she rummaged around next to the persimmon tree, which is in the west of her grandmother's garden. Lee Si-ah asked what was there. She found money and a letter in the box. It turned out to be a will. Grandmother rewrote everything in her name. Lee Si-ah said that she seems to be good at finding treasures and noted that she was lucky. She was glad that Ji found everything, because at least all Grandma's notations were not in vain. She lived with abusive parents and worked several jobs to take care of her younger brother. Granny is so sorry she left them. The girl said that then she would go to the waiting room and thanked Ji. She wished him luck with today's filming and noted that she would make candy out of it tomorrow. The grandmother was grateful and asked Ji-hyun not to stop caring. Lee Si-ah was shocked that she left. They had to prepare the lady for the next shoot. New outfit. All these problems exhausted her so much. She wanted to rest. Maybe Lee Si-ah can even get some sleep, unless she has that dream again. She didn't understand why she kept seeing him. A girl who tragically dies again and again. Lee wakes up at the moment of her death. Suddenly, the girl opened her eyes and didn't understand why she couldn't wake up. Someone is looking at her. I needed to wake up and quickly, right now. Lee didn't understand what it was. The dream always ended when death occurred. This was the first time she had seen this girl dead. Head spin. Lee said it was time to go, but the girl said she had another hour. C was never afraid of ghosts, but these eyes are full of rage and sadness. The man noticed that the lady was a bit early and asked if she wanted to start now. The girl said that it wouldn't be bad. The scene where she appears at the main character's birthday party. As his partner, she solves all problems and takes care of him like his secretary. Lee believed that it was not difficult, and she could handle it. Suddenly, the chandelier shook. Everyone was confused about what was happening. The chandelier fell directly on Miss Lee. The man shouted to call an ambulance quickly because Mrs. Sia was bleeding. The girl did not understand what happened. This face looked exactly like hers. All her life, these ghosts bothered her, and she didn't want to believe that she would die now because of one of them. She screamed for them to forget her. The main character screamed to forget everything she was talking about. Because ghosts don't harm people. She was shocked when she looked. She did not understand why her body was so light. Ji was shocked that her face was fine and she was without bandages. It looks like a chandelier fell on her. And she had already begun to believe that this was all an optical illusion. When the girl saw her face, she realized that she had seen him in her dreams. A man came to her and said that he had told her to come down for breakfast and asked if she thought he was joking here. This guy is Ravi Sorfel. Xi already believed that she was still sleeping. She was Camille Sorfel, Lady of the Duchy of Sorfel. Ravi asked again why she was sitting. The main thing is when I didn't understand who gave him the right to shout at her and give out orders. Every time she sees him, she wants to do something, because of his inferiority complex. He tried to kill his older brother using Camilla. He is the second son of Duke Sorfel. Camilla swung and hit the guy. The main character always wanted to punch him in the neck because he is a bastard. If someone had this dream almost every day for 20 years, they would have done the same as the main character and hit Ravi. Camilla and Ravi's mother married the Duke after divorcing her first husband. The boy became the second son of the Sorfel family. He had some talent for magic, but it could not be compared with the skill of his older brother Ruville. Due to his inferiority complex, Ravi became obsessed with the desire to kill his brother. To quench this cruel thirst, he decided to take advantage of his sister, whom no one paid attention to. Ravi called her an ugly duckling. The main character's blood boils every time she sees how he drags Camille into his dirty deeds. She wanted to punch him in the face at least once. Ravi was horrified and asked how dare she. Camilla immediately burst into tears, apologized, and asked her brother what she had done. She said she thought she was still dreaming. The main character understood that he could not do anything to her and would simply stare in confusion. She said that she was sleeping, which means that he is without help. Ravi believed that it was unlikely that she would have hit him if she were in her right mind, because she barely even talks to the maids. He told Camilla to quickly change clothes because they were late. He always doesn't care about her. Only the Duke is worthy of his attention. One way or another, he will still die with Camilla. But Xia didn't understand whether she was still sleeping. Even in her dreams, she always sees the story in first person. But before that, she could not do anything of her own free will. Hit Ravi, for example. The girl believed that in this case, it was somehow connected with her ghost, whom she saw. Rudville's place is empty. This means that this is the period of time when there was a rebellion in the western region. One day, Rudville returned home with a great achievement. This became one of the reasons for the development of an inferiority complex in Ravi. It will be very problematic if the main character cannot wake up from sleep. She died so many times, oppressed by the cold gaze of those eyes. If she stays here, she will die again. The Duke said they were late. Ravi immediately began to fearfully ask for forgiveness. Camilla said that last night she couldn't sleep for a long time, so she overslept. The Duke smells something wrong because she usually remains silent during meals. The maid prepared everything for the lady. For a long time, Camilla was bullied by some maids. This even continued at the dinner table. C wanted that girl to laugh while she could, because this will be her last chance. Camilla called her father. Since she came late, she wants to do something for him. The girl said that she cut the steak so that it would be easier to eat, and wished bon appetit to Dad. Ravi believed that she was definitely not fully awake. The Duke agreed. When my father tried the meat, he was in complete shock. The networks are spread out, and this is a very important moment. And then Camilla stood up abruptly. You told Dad to stop and not eat it. She apologized and said that she would take it and eat it herself. The father asked Camilla if this was the first time something like this had been brought to her. Camilla was silent. Now that she can behave as she pleases, the offenders who bullied her will definitely be in trouble. The main character believed that she should tell her family why Camilla always ate so little. The Duke said they would talk about it later, after dealing with those who managed to tarnish the name of the Duke. To save his reputation, he will kill his own child if necessary. And you're great, Dad. 1 week later, the main character already understood that she could not get out of here, but she did not understand why, and believed that she had died and fallen asleep forever, or she's in a coma. A maid came into the room and greeted the mistress. Sorfel Donna. Donna is a faithful servant of the house. She heard that lately the lady has been eating almost nothing. Camilla said with a smile that she had no appetite. After that incident in the dining room, the Duke ordered the kitchen staff to be more careful about the food they served her. And the girls who bullied Camilla were thrown out of work without any compensation. All she has to do is wake up. Camilla said she would eat later. Donna said that she had already missed so many meals, that the boss himself came to her. Broomstick was shocked that he was here again. During the week she spent here, the girl noticed another difference from her last dream. Did the chef bring the pie? To which everyone is 100% confident. And this time, the lady will definitely like it. He heard that she didn't finish eating again. The man said that he would return when my lady had eaten it. The ghost screamed at the boss and didn't understand. How could he possibly consider anything fit to be his student? The ghost called him trash and the dregs of culinary society. The maid asked what tea Camilla wanted, and the ghost continued to shout that you should always think about the people you cook for. In a dream, she doesn't look at the world with her own eyes, and Camille doesn't understand why she can see ghosts. Fabler Academy. The man asked if he knew Camilla from the Sorfel family, who was constantly following Pedro. There are a lot of rumors going around. Another man asked if he thought he had heard of them. They say she stole his handkerchief again and got caught. She was always strange. He said he wouldn't be surprised if they started calling her Lady Fake. The guy said to watch your language, because you can't talk about the Duke's daughter like that. Suddenly, the blonde noticed someone. They immediately said that they needed to go in the other direction. The second guy didn't understand why. He asked if he knew that guy, because he is known for his bad character, one of the children of the third generation of ducal families. Named Arshan Sephra, he is the eldest son of Duke Sephra. When he first tasted the food prepared by the teacher, an unquenchable fire seemed to ignite in his heart. The guy thought that if he learned to cook something equally incredible, it would bring him happiness. The apple pie his mentor taught him is the foundation of any chef's life. However, then he noticed that the lady had not finished what he had prepared. He called her Lady Fake, too. I thought he was pretending to know something about cooking. He just wanted to tell her to eat what they gave her. The chef said that he heard. Otherwise, I didn't like the last dish, so he brought this. He believed that she should be grateful for just the opportunity to taste art. He put his heart and soul into this apple pie. The ghost repeated that he had already said hundreds of times that Camille didn't like apples. It was Sorfel Pierre, the previous chef in the family. There are a lot of rude people in show business, so Sia is used to it, but she doesn't understand what kind of ghost this is. It's also so loud. Camilla agreed and said she would try. She took a piece, but said that it was not tasty and she would not eat it. The cook understood how it was and asked if she knew what kind of pie it was. This recipe was given to him by the mentor himself. He was the chef. She said that 1 gram of cinnamon was missing. Apple pie is a basic dish for any cook. He cooked it incorrectly, but he brought it anyway and asked him if it was normal. Does he really care who eats it? And Camilla doesn't like apples. If no one wants his dish, then it is no different from garbage. His mentor said the same. The boss said he would be back soon. She noticed that she would like him to leave too. The boss asked if she was telling him this and was horrified that she could see him. Shia said that she doesn't know anything and is going to bed. The boss said it was true. Another ghost asked him to calm down and tell everything in order. The boss turned him on that she was definitely talking to him. The man asked if Camilla addressed him directly. This is Sorfel Darren, the house's previous butler. The boss asked what kind of lady he was, because he was shocked that he still considered himself a butler. The man said they were dead, but that didn't mean they had lost their personalities and memories. What happened was really strange. She had never behaved like this before. I didn't ask if he was sure it wasn't a coincidence. The chief said she definitely looked right at him. In that case, they can only wait. Fortunately, they have a lot of time. He suggested playing chess. The boss said that this time he would definitely win. A few days later, Camilla already understood that this was a serious problem, and it looks like she can't go back. The girl did not understand how she could survive this and what to do. And then she became decisive. The main character decided that she first needed to take care of her reputation, despite the fact that Mila did not help Ravi with the murder of Rudville. Because of false testimony, no one even listened to her, and of course, nothing could help her because every day they mocked her. She should definitely improve her relationship with Hert Sorfel, but she doesn't understand how she can do this and what could influence his opinion of her. The boss asked if she could hear him. He asked her to turn and look at him because she tried to talk to him earlier. If only the main character had woken up in Camille's body before she grabbed that girl by the hair. The chief continued to be sure that she could see him. This was already starting to piss her off, and she asked what it was if she saw him. She was so tired of them. The girl said directly that if they want her to act on their behalf or solve their problems. No matter how enormous their regrets are, she cannot help them and will not do anything. The butler couldn't believe it. but the cook was happy. The lady understood that they were not even listening to her. If things go like this, she will soon become a ghost too. Pierre asked if she saw how he did it, and the butler tried to stop him and asked where his manners were. Camilla did not understand what to do and how to please the Duke. The ghost said that if she needs to please the Duke, then it's to them. They know everything. The butler said that he worked here back in the days when the current Duke was not even in the plans. Pierre has the same story. And as a child, the Duke was even more fussy, it was even fun, and asked if she wanted advice. The Duke noticed that he had not come here for a long time. There he noticed Camilla. He was shocked and hoped that she didn't want to destroy the flowers again like last time. He doesn't know why she needed it, but one day she tore up a whole flower bed of roses. Of course, they can always plant new flowers. A fog garden is a completely different matter. The Duke grabbed Camilla. He shouted and asked what she was doing here. The girl said that she was picking flowers. This surprised my father. Camilla said that she collected them in order to decorate his chambers, and she asked if he liked them, these misty flowers. The Duke asked again, and Camilla confirmed this. He was in complete shock. Her dear father, the Duke, must accept his daughter's mercy. Camilla was upset and asked if she had guessed correctly. Her father told her to do what she wanted. The lady said that she would collect them and take them to him and thanked Dad. The Duke's dead mother loved misty flowers. She planted them in the palace garden and took care of them for many years. That is why these flowers took a special place in the Duke's heart. The ghost asked if he liked it. Camilla thought so. Duke's view. There was no usual cold in him. Maybe it won't be possible to establish relationships right away. But she knows for sure that she is moving in the right direction. It's time for the next step. 1 week later, the man told the Duke that Ruville was making more and more contributions to the development of the duchy every day. It was Jector, Duke Sorfel's right-hand man. This is simply amazing. He handed over all the necessary documents. Everything is indicated there. He called the gentleman again because he was not talking to him. The Duke looked at those same flowers. She actually put water with flowers here. The Duke asked Jector how Camilla has been eating these days. He had nothing to say and said that he would clarify immediately. Rub knocked on the door. He said that he thought it would be appropriate to serve the food now because he was planning to go for food. Rub is the butler of the Sorfel house. Jector reported that he was just in time. The Duke asked him why he was so frozen. Rub said that it was nothing and asked not to pay attention. This taste and smell reminds the Duke of Pierre. He asked if Gerald had finally been able to recreate Pierre's soup, but Rube told the gentleman that it was not Gerald who prepared it. Camilla prepared this soup for him. He was shocked that Camilla prepared the soup. This taste, golden color and exquisite aroma, exactly like Chef Pierre's soup. It was completely unclear how she did it. Gerald asked in horror how she did it. It was very simple, because Pierre made it himself. After they talked to the ghosts, the main character was able to move freely. Camilla allowed the spirit to enter her body. Pierre died suddenly, and Gerald said that he never learned the recipe for his soup. Camilla told Gerald that they had an argument. He liked her soup, and she won. And she asked if he remembered what he had to do. The lady asked why she still had to look up to him. Her neck already hurts. He didn't understand how she dared to tell him straight to his face that she could cook better than him. The boss said that the lady would just transfer the groceries, and he himself offered to argue. If she surprises him, he will do anything. At least he'll get down on his knees. Finally, the man admitted defeat and knelt before the mistress. Camilla was very pleased. The butler asked Pierre if he wanted to say something. Pierre thought that something good had happened. He even began to worry. Camilla said she wanted to know something. She's been seeing ghosts for over 20 years, and during that time she's learned a few things. None of them help for nothing. Camilla thanked them about the misty flowers and soup, and she said that she felt that someday their help would be useful to her again. To survive in this world and save Camilla's reputation, you can fulfill the last will of 2 ghosts. The girl asked the 2 to tell her what they wanted, and then the ghosts laughed. Pierre said that he only wants to cook. The girl decided that this most likely meant that she should set the table and hold a memorial ceremony. Nothing can make him happy as much as someone's love for the dishes he has prepared. He was very grateful to her for allowing him to feel this again. She figured there was no point in interrogating since they didn't want anything. The butler said it was the same for him. If he can help the Sorfel family with his knowledge, then for him, this is happiness. He is glad that he was able to make the Duke smile simply by reminding him of the misty flowers. With her help, of course. The butler was grateful to the lady. Camilla did not understand what kind of people they were, and why are they so good? They only regret that they did not bring as much benefit as they could have. What was strange was that they liked to be used. The girl said that she understood what they meant. This meant that there were no special requests that she could fulfill. Since they are ready to help for free, she needs to cooperate with them. Camilla asked them to take care of her. 10 days later. Gerald was completely shocked that she even knew this recipe. The lady confirmed this with a smile. After that incident with the soup, she began to cook every evening, and the man knelt again, and Pierre was pleased that he could cook again. The boss just didn't understand how she got such a beautiful color. He couldn't believe that she could find his mentor's secret recipe book. It's also the way she behaves. She navigates the kitchen as if she has been working here for decades. Gerald simply did not understand how this was possible. Gerald asked if he could try it. Camilla said that these are the leftovers if he wants, then go ahead. It was simply delicious. He did everything the same, but he could not achieve such success. The result was still different. The lady asked if it was tasty, to which Gerald said that this was not bad. He clings with all his might to the crumbs that remain of his honor. Camilla asked if he wanted the recipe. He immediately agreed. A lot of argument told him to be a good girl, and maybe he could win her affection. Gerald apologized and asked, "What if it was like this?" The lady told me to remove my hand from my face and ordered me to never do that again. Rub asked the lady if everything was ready. Camilla said that it was only a couple of minutes and asked him to do everything in the best possible way. Camilla turned and asked if Gerald's knees hurt. He asked the lady not to worry because he was strong. Rub did not understand at all how she tamed this arrogant guy. He doesn't know what caused it, but Lady Camilla became so interesting overnight. The butler is completely unclear why she changed so suddenly. He knocked on the Duke's room. He ordered to enter. He reported that the lady called him to give him some snacks. She was even ready for the visit of guests. The man was shocked that he wanted to say that she prepared all this herself. The man noticed that the taste was incomparable, but it was completely unclear to him where the lady knew such recipes. It's truly incredible. Everyone was just jealous of the Duke. He told her that there was no need to bother so much, but she didn't listen to him. That's why people say, a daughter in a family is a great happiness. Another noted that this is absolutely true and very tasty, and Rub was wondering why the gentleman postponed the meeting to another time. He just wanted to show off his daughter's skills. Previously, Lady Camilla brought nothing but problems, and it is unclear when she came to her senses. He believed she felt ashamed of the incident. What happened at the last party? Do something like that, especially the future Duchess. Everyone thought he was a crazy idiot. The Duke asked him if he had mentioned that he should not drink wine. In this case, he should not eat dessert made from it. The man continued to say that he really liked the wine. The Duke said no. He can't let his daughter's efforts go to waste, so he eats his portion. Rub immediately took the portion from the man, and he simply didn't understand what he did wrong. Camille asked Pierre what he would cook tomorrow. He has one sauce recipe in mind. They will prepare canapés with it. She asked whether the canapés would be with meat or fruit, and suddenly she saw Ravi there. She was surprised when she saw him. The lady came closer and asked him what he was doing here. He stood in front of her and asked what she was doing here at such a time. The girl didn't understand what he was talking about. Ravi says she goes to kitchen every night. He doesn't understand why she sticks her head out once again, because she's never done it before. Camilla said she was just cooking. Ravi asked her if she thought that the Duke would accept her simply because she did all this for him. The girl didn't understand what the difference was, and what the hell was wrong with him. She and Camilla had never been particularly close. We didn't even care about her. What she is doing now reminds Ravi of my childhood. He said not to waste time because it won't lead to anything. Camilla said with a smile that she knows. He knows that he doesn't care about them, and she has no desire to become part of this family. Ravi didn't understand why she was behaving this way, but the girl immediately ran away and said that it was time for her to sleep. The guy asked if she understood what she said. Camilla said she just wants to survive. She has no desire to die, that's all. She doesn't need this useless family at all. Camilla told the ghost to ask already, because they would stop staring in silence. They asked what she meant when she told Mr. Ravi that she wanted to survive. The butler asked if she was in pain somewhere. Pierre told no one to die, because he still has so many dishes to prepare. She knows that she will die in the future, so she does everything she can to stay alive. Even if she tells them this, they won't believe it. They might even run away from her, thinking she's gone crazy. Camilla said that everyone wants to live, and this is really true. The butler agreed that this was logical. Once halophytes can move freely around the estate, perhaps they can find out where it is buried. Camilla said that she had a request for them. She asked if they had heard about the incident in the flower garden. Camilla wanted to find her mother's ring, which the maids buried in one of the flower beds. Because of him, the girl tore up the flower bed, and the maids later scolded her for it. Camilla then never named the real reason. Everyone was just finally convinced that she was crazy and nothing special had happened. That day the Duke became very angry and scolded her, because he was afraid that one day she would get to his favorite misty flowers. She was sure that the ring was buried here. The girl started digging in her new dress. Her blood boiled in her veins every time she saw this scene in her dreams. This really infuriated her. Pierre said that she could have asked them for help back then, and I didn't understand why she pretended not to see them all this time. The lady said he was right and thought she was being too careful. The butler offered the lady revenge. Ghosts are capable of many things, she just has to say. The girl did not understand what they would do, and that much of this was even feasible. Camilla said she would handle her own affairs, but I was grateful that they told me about the place where the ring lies. These are all servants. She didn't start this. George was surprised when he saw the girls because he didn't expect her to call them too. The maid didn't understand why she suddenly needed them all. The second believed that she wanted to reprimand them while the Duke favored her. The maid bet her earrings that after a while, she would get tired of being my girl and would again lose the Duke's trust. When they entered the room, they saw that everything was scattered, and the lady was lying in the middle of the room. They didn't understand what it was, and already thought she was dead. The maid came closer and saw the pills there. The first thing that came to mind was suicide. She ordered the door to be locked. The maid could not believe that she was seriously dead. George tried to calm her down, but he said that she was probably dead after all. And then the maid noticed a certain letter. She opened it, and everyone ran up with interest about what was there. In the sheet, she told in detail who forced her to dig up the entire flower bed and asked her father to take revenge for her. This horrified the maid. If it falls into the hands of the Duke, they need to get rid of this letter because she's not going to die with her. And then Camilla asked these guys if they seriously thought that luck was on their side. She asked if they really believed that they were incredibly lucky to be the first to know about it. The servants were in complete shock that she never died. One of the girls was already beginning to think that it was her ghost. Camilla is pretty good at pretending. The maid was shocked that she was simply laughing at them. The lady noted that any pretense can always be turned into reality. But the maid did not understand what she meant. The lady asked if they knew that she goes to the kitchen every night, and she asked what they thought would happen if she didn't leave there. They will start looking for her and go there, and there she is, dead and with a letter in her hands. They feel deceived. The lady ordered them to now remember all the people they had deceived. The maid was furious that she was threatening them. Camilla said that they threaten those who can offer something in return. And I didn't understand why I threatened the pathetic insects, because she might just step on them. And by the way, for some reason the bugs had become completely quiet in recent days, and she didn't quite understand what to do. All the servants immediately fell to their knees and said that they had made a mistake, asked to forgive them, and said that nothing like this would happen again. Camilla smiled and said that was great and asked if they knew what they needed to do. The maid did not understand anything. Camille said she wants them to find the ring now. They immediately went looking and apologized again. The lady was glad that they had finally left. Playing the villain is the best way to relieve stress. But this requires endurance. Camilla asked the ghosts what it was. The butler was surprised, and Pierre noticed that she looked as if she would really kill if they went against her. He wondered how she could pretend to be like that. Once, the girl received an award for Best Villainous Role. Her heroine even surpassed the main one. Pierre asked what the reward was. The butler was shocked that there was an acting award ceremony. Camilla just smiled. The butler noticed that she had already found the ring and asked them to show where it was, but she still sent servants. Camilla confirmed this, but asked if they should get what they deserved. Let them dig in the dirt, nasty pigs. Meanwhile, the servants did not understand where it was. They were sure that this was exactly the same place, but there was nothing there. It turned out to be empty. Some of them were taken to sell most likely, but this simply could not happen. The butler approached them and asked what they were doing here. The Duke was simply horrified that they had stolen a family heirloom. Rub said that the maids told him so, and he thinks the reason the lady was rummaging in the flower bed that day was to try to find the ring. The gentleman did not understand. If she had said right away, he would not have acted so cruelly towards her. The Duke does not understand at all why his daughter remained silent. He ordered the butler to bring Camilla. It is quite natural that it may be difficult for her to communicate with her new stepfather. He's embarrassed too, but he allows the maids to mock him. The man is completely incomprehensible how they dared to even think about humiliating his daughter. Camilla came to her father with a smile and asked if he had called her. She was worried because she believed that while she was dealing with the services, something had already happened. The Duke admitted that he had heard that she had lost her ring and asked why she didn't tell the truth. The main character was in complete shock, and her father continued to ask why he was only learning about this now. The girl didn't understand at all why he was angry, and she couldn't believe that he believed Camilla. Dad said she should have shared this with him. Camilla was shocked that he truly regretted what he had done. The girl watched him kill Camilla hundreds of times, looking at her with a cold, impenetrable gaze. Thanks to her recent efforts, the situation has changed for the better, but they still don't seem to be that close. Camilla said that the fact was that he had so much work to do, so she didn't want to bother him with her problems. She apologized for not listening to him and tried to figure things out on her own. The Duke, furious, asked why she was apologizing. Because they should. Dad said that Camilla can come to him in any situation. He asked that she always talk to him first. The girl didn't understand why he was looking at her with such a tender gaze. She just decided to whiten her reputation a little so as not to die. If things continue like this, she won't be able to escape. The ghost asked the lady what she was doing. The girl studied the map and tried to choose where to run if she suddenly had to. Pierre did not understand the meaning of running. Camilla said not to worry. It will be nice if everything works out and she doesn't have to run away, but things don't always go as we would like. Besides, who knows what Ravi will reveal next time? The main character cannot simply rely on the Duke's trust and let everything take its course, because the one will appear soon. Eldest son of Duke Sorfel and brother of Camilla Rudville Sorfel. The maid informed my lady that their dear Duke was inviting her to a tea party. Camilla understood everything. The mind asks her to come, then she thinks that she has risen in his eyes. Things aren't going so bad. That means tea. When she approached, she saw her brother there. She didn't think this guy was a suitable companion for tea time. But why is he here then? Ravi was glad to see me and told me to sit down. Camilla was grateful to him and sat down. But inside, she was very angry with him because she didn't understand why he didn't talk to her the same way when they were alone. By the way, Ravi seems to be in a good mood. And the main character became very interested in what made him so happy. The guy told his father that he was chosen at the demonstration. Camilla already realized that apparently this day had come. Once a year, a demonstration ceremony is held in the Magic Tower. Only the most talented and experienced magicians are given the honor of being there. And once Ravi was chosen, so write it better. Now it's clear why this cunning fox does not hide his joy. The same thing will happen soon, and Camilla doesn't understand what to do. A servant ran into the room and shouted that this was a great victory. They were informed that Mr. Rudville had found the main headquarters of the enemy and defeated everyone. And all thanks to the plan that the gentleman himself developed. The Duke immediately stood up and was delighted. This was news straight from the Imperial Palace, and His Majesty is delighted too. He personally sent a letter of congratulations to Mr. Rudville. The Duke said it was simply incredible. Ravi's face immediately changed, but Camilla did not understand what he expected. Looks like luck is not on his side. But the worst thing is that the survey in honor of the victory will be held on the same day as the demonstration. Ravi said he will go now. The Duke noted that he could stay if he wanted, but the guy said that he had urgent business, and he asked to forgive him. It's time for Camilla, too. The Duke said goodbye to them with a smile. He decided that when Rudville returns, Tanya will throw a party. All this time he worked like hell, did not sleep at night. The guy didn't understand what he did to deserve such an attitude. He believed that it would be better to use dark magic now and went to the battlefield. Camilla said he exceeded all expectations. Going to a demonstration is amazing. Ravi asked if she was kidding, but the girl said that she was telling the truth because only the best of the best are sent there. My brother didn't understand how she even knew this. Camilla said he was great and left. 2 words that he had wanted to hear from his father for so many years. The guy didn't understand at all that this was happening to his sister. And why does she always behave differently than usual? The maid told the lady that it suited her very well, and she was sure that she would be the main beauty at this banquet. Well, you can't argue with that, no matter how you look at it. The maid said that she would make her a goddess today, too. The main character relied on her. Since Rudville returned home, the estate has been hosting feasts every day. Camilla is sure that there is some kind of political subtext in all this, and she thinks that this is a little unfair, but she just needs to stand out. New day, new outfit. Ravi asked her to simply not create new problems. The lady asked him why he was saying that again, and believed that he wanted to quarrel again. Ravi said that she threw the last party. Camilla admitted this. It's her fault, but she liked it. He didn't understand where she got such shamelessness from. Previously, she would not have dared to say a word. Something very strange is happening to her. She asked her brother if he had bought a new suit for the special occasion. Ravi hoped she didn't think he was coming to the banquet. Camilla was talking about the demonstration. The guy's eyes lit up, but he turned away and told her to forget. The guy didn't understand how she remembered the date of the demonstration. He's probably going crazy. Did Camilla remember or not? It has nothing to do with him. The girl said that if he doesn't choose the right outfit, he will be compared to everyone else. He agreed, but didn't understand who cared about clothes. He told her to try not to attract attention to herself at the banquet. To the side. They were told to check that everything was ready for the banquet. This means he celebrates even outside the estate. And here, everyone is discussing Rudville. Don't think about it. With or without family, Ravi is still lonely. The ceremony to showcase the best magicians will begin soon. Ravi stood. Jael asked him if he was ready. The guy thought it was strange because usually he just stands on the sidelines and looks at him strangely. And now he's behaving somehow even friendly. Jael was completely shocked that the great Mr. Ravi, one of the best magicians, said, "Sort of." Ravi didn't understand what he meant by this. The lady called Jael. She told him not to be nervous and to give it his all. And his little sister said that she believed in him. Jael was very grateful to them. Suddenly she turned towards Ravi and asked where his relatives were. He believed that no one had come to see him. The guy said that they are family, and he doesn't understand how this can be. And he started saying that they were probably just late. Now Ravi understood why the bastard approached him. He said that it was not his place to worry about whether someone came to support him or not. Jael was surprised and asked why it was none of his business, because he was worried as a friend. He smiled sarcastically, turning away. My own son returned home, and there was no time left to foster him. Ravi patted the guy on the shoulder and said that, apparently, family is the only thing he can boast about. Ravi leaned over and said in his ear that he had heard that the professor had helped him a surprising amount at his demonstration. He noticed that if you have money, it's also really beautiful. Jael stood completely in a stupor. Ravi added that without them, he is just an empty-headed idiot with no abilities or achievements. This made Jael very angry. Ravi couldn't believe his eyes. His sister Camilla entered the hall. People were talking about how that girl's parents really wouldn't come because she was an orphan. Her father was on the news recently. This was the same one who tried to kill his children and then himself. He pointed his finger at the children and said that this rubbish was not from him, and his wife cheated on him with someone. His wife tried to calm him down and asked if he wanted the neighbors to call the police. The man shouted that if the girl were his own, he would not hate her so much. And the girl listened to everything behind the doors. Every time she looked at Ravi and Camilla's relationship in her dreams, she remembered her past. In those days when the girl did not feel love either from her parents or from those around her. But Donna treated Camilla well. This was to be expected from her. If the main character had not become a popular actress, I would not have received the love and admiration of the audience. She probably would have gone crazy, like Ravi and Camilla. That's why she's here. The next representative was told to go on stage. It had to be Ravi. Even if she is annoyed that the past Ravi used Camilla because of his inferiority complex, she's still worried about him, because he feels lonely in his family, and the main character feels so familiar. So she decided to support him. She mentally wanted to tell him not to lose to these idiots and to do everything in the best possible way. And for him to shine, because this time everything will be different. The girl looked after him for 20 years, so she thinks that she can help a little. After it was all over, Ravi approached Camilla and asked what she was doing here in such an outfit. Of course, he was pleased to see Jael's sour face. He couldn't believe that Ravi had such a sister, and his demonstration was simply disgusting. But Camilla. He did not understand when she learned to emphasize her beauty. Ravi understood that something had definitely happened to her during this time, and yet, the lady said she didn't know. Camilla just has no idea why she came. Ravi did not understand what kind of answer this was. The girl said that she just wanted to, so she came. Everything was as Ravi expected. He considered Camilla a complete child and thought that it was not worth even asking. Ravi suggested that she just leave from here. Camilla asked again, and the guy asked if she wanted to stay here. The brother told his sister to hurry up. It looked very funny because he never expected her. Camilla asked her brother if he knew that his face was prettier than the back of his head. Ravi didn't understand what she meant by this. The Duke told Ruville that he was doing well for coming to the banquet as soon as he could. The guy told his father that it wasn't difficult for him at all. The father noted that Ravi had a demonstration ceremony today, and he was sorry that 2 members of their family were not here now. He should have taken care of that. This is the Duke's mistake. Dad told Ruville to go and rest. The guy is grateful. This Camilla took care of Ravi. This was quite interesting for Ruville. When Camilla arrived, she noticed that it seemed that the banquet was not over yet. Camilla even had dinner beforehand so as not to meet Ruville. Ravi said that he would probably go there and at least show himself, and asked what she would do. The girl said that she was tired, so she would go to her place, and she wanted him to have fun. The lady really didn't want to see this man. After all, Camilla in most cases died at his hands. Ruville fell. With his sword, he pierced Camilla's heart many times and cut off her head. And even if he only carried out the orders of the Duke, the main characters will never be able to forget this. At least the Duke can recognize some kind of emotion on his face, but Camilla doesn't know how to read this block of ice. Looks like it was raining this morning. The soil is moist and there are flowers. Camilla can only sigh, so she decided it was time to stop. If the main character wins the favor of the Duke, then at least she won't be killed. All these difficulties, a thorny path. Compared to what she had to deal with at thousands of fashion shows, this is nothing, so Camilla will hope for the best. Suddenly, the girl heard the voice of her older brother. She immediately smiled, because she is simply a goddess of acting. He was the last person she wanted to see. It was completely unclear to her what he forgot here, and what kind of pose does he have. She shouldn't piss him off again, so the girl pulled a smile from ear to ear. She noticed that she was collecting flowers for him in honor of his return, and she said that it was very cool that they crossed paths. She handed the bouquet to her brother and said that it was for him. Camilla was shocked because he had absolutely zero reaction. The lady said she would go then. Rub asked Ruville why he needed flowers, to which the guy replied that they were given to him. This surprised the butler quite a bit, and he even wanted to shake this daredevil's hand. The servants were also shocked that Mr. Ruville was given flowers. The man asked to be allowed to put them in a vase, but Ruville refused him and said that they belonged to him. The butler immediately began to make excuses so that he would not think that he was trying to take them away from him. For the first time, this child gave a gift to Ruville. The butler asked who this child was. The man did not understand why the gentleman fell silent right in the middle of the conversation. Ruville said that he would go to his room. The guy couldn't get her smile out of his head. This is the first time Camille called him brother. Camilla thought she was going crazy. It seems that Ravi is especially quiet today because of Ruville. Now she will have to think about her every step and keep an eye on them. The main character decided that if this gave her a headache, she would definitely finish them off. Ruville suggested that her sister exchange dishes. This shocked Camilla. But I didn't understand why. I thought that her steak was bigger. He took it away so suddenly and didn't even ask. My father asked Ravi how his demonstration went. The guy's eyes immediately lit up. Dad apologized and said he should have paid more attention to this. Ravi said that it was okay, because everything went well with his prayers. It was amazing. The Duke does take a sincere interest in her brother's affairs. The father turned to Camilla, and he said that she would soon return to the academy. This surprised her, and she remembered that Camilla was still studying. Now it's still spring break, but then the main character will have to go to school. Her father asked if she was sure she didn't want to change her field of study. The lady said she thought it best to leave it as is for now. When all this starts, her life will turn into a complete headache. If possible, it is better not to cross paths with some people, at least 2. The Duke added that new chocolate had been brought to them, and he heard that it is better to eat it with tea. This surprised his daughter. The man noticed that the misty flowers seemed to have wilted a little. Camilla understood everything, and said with a smile that she would bring more. The brother asked in a whisper whether she seriously did not understand why he said all this. Camilla didn't understand what he meant, so Ravi told her to forget it. The main character understood that she seemed to have missed the thread of the conversation. She was a little late with the flowers, because she gave the collected ones to Ruville. Usually Camilla drinks tea with the Duke when they bring him new ones. but she decided that it probably wasn't that important. Her father himself invited her to a tea party. He and Camilla must have become close during this time. Ravi didn't understand why he felt so proud of her. Duke Sorfel's office. Ruville told his father that he had decided to organize the list of desserts in their store, since this child doesn't like apples. The father asked how he knew about this. The guy said that he heard that the servants abused Camilla. They prepared terrible dishes for her, and he asked his father what he had done with them. The Duke became convinced that they would no longer be able to operate their estate, just like in any other family. Dad asked if his son got one of these dishes, since he asked. Ruville apologized and bowed to his father, but he said that it was not worth it, because it was not his fault. Divine beast. They failed to find him this time either. The Duchy of Sorfel is under the protection of the White Tiger. The Duchy of Sephra is under the protection of the Black Wolf. The Duchy of Javelin is under the patronage of the Red Eagle. Once upon a time, the Sorfels also had a divine beast, but the previous duke died suddenly due to being poisoned, and he could not transfer the beast to his successor as he should. The duke is confident that no one will dare to ignore the Sorfel family just because of the absence of a divine beast. But 2 other families are putting pressure on him. 3 generations have been running around with this pendant, trying to find any clue, but to no avail. Perhaps it's time to give up. Ruville tried to tell him something, but his father stood up and said that under no circumstances. Every time these 2 grab with their bellies. The Duke asked what was so incredible about these creatures and suggested that his son look for more. To which the guy agreed. Camilla felt simply disgusting. Her stomach also hurts. The ghost butler called the lady. The main character did not understand what was happening and what happened, but the ghost said that it was nothing. He just wanted her to meet someone. Camilla already understood in principle that this was also a ghost. The butler confirmed this, to which the girl said that in this case she refuses. The ghost asked her very much. The main character noticed that he was very nervous, and since he wants this so badly, then his acquaintance must be far from an ordinary ghost. The ghost simply begged the lady for this meeting. Under such pressure, Camilla decided to agree to this meeting. The man was very grateful. Camilla asked if this person was an inhabitant. The butler didn't know who the occupant was. These are a type of ghosts that cannot leave a certain area. That's why he didn't bring him to her. The butler agreed with her and noted that, unlike them, he could not move freely. The butler was delighted with how easily the lady understood this. This is simply amazing. Camilla asked where he was. The ghost bowed and said that he would see her off. When people wonder where ghosts might live, usually what comes to mind is a cemetery or the family home of the deceased. However, ghosts rarely stay in these places because they don't want to be near their dead body. Now the main character understood what was going on, but she doesn't understand why there are so many of them here and why the butler said that they needed to go a little further. Camilla already believed that perhaps great figures known for their achievements were buried there. It must be a great honor to be buried here, although these are, after all, just graves. The ghost of the butler called the girl. This place is clearly being looked after. This means that some important people are definitely buried here. It was so sunny today, and Camilla is walking through the cemetery. The butler informed the lady that they were there. Someone asked the ghost if this girl was the one. The butler confirmed this. Since he was 39th, it means that he has been lying here for a relatively long time, because the current duke is 42nd. The gentleman asked if she really saw him. The girl said that she not only sees, but also hears. The man laughed and said the end was near. The reason why he urgently asked her to come here is... Camilla interrupted him, asking if she could ask a question first. He allowed it. Camilla wanted to ask something about the head and genetics. The 39th head of the Duchy of Sorfelb, Herschel Sorfel. One of the duties of the head of the family is to show the heir where the next divine beast will be born. However, he was poisoned and did not have time to do this. Therefore, he takes this opportunity to want Camilla to help find the divine beast. He really asks her to do this. The main character was completely terrified. She understands that this is how the circumstances have developed, but does not know how she can help, because it's unclear what everyone will think if she suddenly finds an animal that has been hunted for decades. The main character gets goosebumps just thinking about it, and has already thought about pretending to be a fortune teller. She thought that everyone would definitely take her for crazy, because the egg of the divine beast was at the bottom of the river. Although, who knows? Maybe if she does this, her chances of survival will increase significantly. The girl didn't know if finding the divine beast was a good idea, and would deviate from her original course. The butler told the lady that she was very beautiful today. Camila turned to him and asked if he wanted to say that she wasn't beautiful before. He began to make excuses, saying that he meant that this black dress suits her very well, so the divine beast is underwater. Some men noticed her at the cemetery. They were here because of their mother's wake, but it is unclear what she was doing here. This was Pedro Javelon, the eldest son of Duke Javelon. It was strange that Lady Camila didn't even notice him. The other guy believed that she simply didn't see, because she was far away. But it's still Pedro. Lady Camila should have run headlong towards them long ago. The butler told the lady that she could do it. This is a complete headache. Pedro said not to say that because it was rude to the lady. But it's true, and Pedro is too kind to everyone. That's really a problem. After all, wasn't it this lady who stole things from him recently? Pedro said that she did not steal it, but found it by accident, and simply kept it with her. The guy noticed that it was normal that he lost them, with such and such logic. She looks somehow different today. It's strange, but he can't take his eyes off her. Pedro said that if the two of them had nothing more to say, he would leave. The Duke's son has no idea what Camilla Sorfel is doing here. And why was she here? At night, Camilla asked for water. All this time, she thought only about water. The girl did not understand how she could get what was lying in the depths. The kettle was empty, and I didn't want to disturb Donna at such a late hour either. Therefore, the main character decided that she would simply go get some water herself. She saw the light outside the doors and became very curious about who could be there at such a late time. What well? Curiosity takes over. She opened the door and saw her brother there. Camilla asked if he came here for a late-night snack. Ravi asked Camilla why she was not sleeping. The girl said she went out for a drink. The brother did not understand why she did not order the services to bring water. Camilla said it was late. Ravi asked who prepared all this for him in this case. Having received no answer, Ravi asked Camilla why she sat down. The lady told him to eat because she likes watching mukbangs. Ravi didn't understand anything, but said he didn't care. The main character heard that some people fall asleep while watching mukbangs. Overall, it looks interesting. Ravi told her that if she wanted to sleep, she could go. But Camilla said until the very end that she didn't want to. The guy didn't understand why she was talking with her eyes closed. The girl said that they were open and fell asleep during the argument. Ravi just couldn't believe it. Any other time, he would have just freaked out and left her here. But how strange. Now, for some reason, he can't do that. She started making sounds, and the guy thought it was cold in the kitchen. The brother decided that it was worth taking her to the room. Suddenly, by the way, the voice of Ruville was heard, who told her brother to eat calmly, because he himself would take care of Camille. Ravi said that he shouldn't, but Ruville assured him that everything was fine, and he could do it himself. The guy didn't understand at all why Ruville was doing this, but the Duke's son told him to be quiet because he would wake Camilla. Ravi didn't understand at all why he suddenly decided to take care of her. When Camilla woke up in the morning, she did not understand when she fell asleep, and I didn't even know when I returned to the room. She believed that Ravi carried her back. Yeah, she gave him trouble. The next time we meet, he will definitely grumble. He will say that he spent his precious time moving it. Last night, she had a bad dream. In her sleep, the girl asked not to be killed. She cried, and Ruville said that he would not kill her. Camilla opened her eyes and smiled at his words. She didn't understand at all why she smiled when he said that. It was just a dream, and she laughed and cried like an idiot. As a child, this made her very ashamed. Camilla called brother Ravi. He, in turn, asked if she could communicate normally. But the girl didn't understand what was wrong. The lady said that she was a little embarrassed about yesterday. That's why she's being so kind today. But he thinks he's happy. Ravi didn't understand why he should be happy. Magomela said that the fact that his sister was easier than it seemed. Ravi did not understand the essence of the conversation. Camilla asked him if he was surprised when he took her in his arms last night. After all, his little sister is so skinny. The guy was silent, so Camilla said that she understood and would remain silent, so he might not look at her like that anymore. In the distance, she saw Ruville. Camilla didn't understand at all what he was doing here so early. It was awkward, but if she wants to survive, she has no choice. Camilla greeted her brother with a smile. She asked him if today was a wonderful day. Some kind of contact was made. Ravi approached her and asked what kind of discrimination this was. Camilla did not understand at all what kind of discrimination we were talking about. Ravi said that the discrimination is in the way she addresses him and brother Ruville. To him with all honors, but not to Ravi. The main character did not understand what kind of child was living inside him, because he really stirred up a scandal over such a trifle. The girl did not understand why such obvious questions were asked. Ravi resented the fact that it was clear that his sister respected Rudville's brother more than Ravi. Camilla said it was because he was her brother and her family. She didn't understand at all why he was so surprised, and she believed that he did not take her for his sister. Ravi asked if it was true. Camilla didn't understand why he was laughing, to which the guy said that it was just nothing. When she looked at Rudville's older brother, she wondered what was wrong with him. She didn't understand at all which of these two she needed to please more. Lunch at the Sorfel estate. Today all the men in this house are in some kind of bad mood. Camilla asked her father if everything was okay. The Duke said that the idiot would just show up soon, so he wonders what kind of stomach upset he will have this time. The girl did not understand what was going on. Haviland would like to discuss a couple of business issues. At first, Camilla didn't understand who she was talking about and asked again, but then she remembered. This is Duke Sorfel's friend and rival, Duke Chavalon. The father added that Pedro would also come. This surprised Camilla a little, but did not cause any special reaction. The main character didn't understand what it was, because as soon as Pedro's name was mentioned, everyone immediately looked at her. But still, the girl understood why they were staring like that. Pedro Haviland. He is one of the 5 people she doesn't want to interact with at her academy. The main character does not know why Camilla likes him so much, but the girl has been suffering from non-reciprocal love for him for a long time. One time, they were talking about a party. Pedro apologized and said that he already had a partner for the party. This upset Camilla. She understood that nothing could be done about it, everything was fine. The girl assured herself that he refused her not because he didn't like her. Pedro's partner greeted Camilla. The shy girl said hello. She was shocked that his partner was Joella. That girl noticed that Camilla had a cute dress. She came a little closer and leaned over to tell her something. Joella admitted that she heard that Pedro turned her down when she invited him to accompany him to a party. Camilla said that he assured her that he had already decided on a partner. Joella said that was a lie because she asked him the same thing just 2 days ago. Joella laughed and was shocked by his behavior. She even noticed that he probably should have told her right away that he didn't like her at all. Although, if you think about it, who in their right mind would want to become Camilla's partner? After all, she is the adopted daughter of the Duke and just a fake. Here comes the same incident from the recent meeting. Fortunately, people were not surprised by Camilla's behavior and considered it normal. She wanted to hide the fact that she was insulted by calling her a fake. The father asked Camilla to tell her now if she was uncomfortable, so that she doesn't make others nervous. The main character said that she no longer wants anything to do with Pedro. The feelings for him have disappeared, so they don't have to worry about her. Initially, Camilla loved him, not the main character. Father understood everything. Well, the girl understood that they did not believe her. Well, not much time has passed since the last incident at the celebration. Camilla pursued Pedro like a man possessed. So it's logical that they don't trust her yet. The Duke doesn't even know why Javelin comes here. He is sure that he again wants to show off his incredible divine beast under the pretext of a business meeting. Camilla remembered the divine beast and wondered if she still needed to find it. But the girl doesn't even know how to swim. Father asked Camilla if she was thinking about something. The girl immediately came out of her thoughts and said that it was nothing. He just looked so upset. That's what made her sad. The Duke told her not to worry and to enjoy the food. Otherwise it would get cold. Camilla agreed to this only on the condition that her father also eat. The gentleman asked Gerald what kind of dessert this was. The chief said it was Lady Camilla's special request, after which the father asked the girl what it was. Lady Sweet said it was black bean juice and sorbet. Black beans are good for hair growth, and Camilla is sure that genetics has nothing to do with it. Well, it's better to be safe. The Duke did not understand what genetics had to do with it, because he didn't think thick hair was a bad thing. Camilla was very interested in whether he would eat, while he quietly savored it. When Javelin arrived in Hertz, he said that he had heard about the victories of the Duke's son, and the gentleman has generally become prettier since their last meeting. He noticed that the Duke was probably not even hungry, because he was satisfied with one look at his heir. Sorfel told him to stop talking nonsense and come inside. When the guest saw the adopted children, he did not even pay attention to them and rather went to the castle. He hasn't changed at all. He still doesn't see the point in recognizing them in this family. Duke Javelin holds his family ties and the honor of his family very dear, and they are just rogues because ducal blood does not flow through their veins. If you think about it that way, he probably wasn't happy to find out that Camilla liked his son, but the current Camilla won't even take it for nothing, so everyone can relax. Pedro's voice was heard from behind, saying that they had not seen each other for a long time. His face is really cute. No wonder Camilla lost her head. The main character was glad to welcome Lord Pedro. He simply enjoys the fact that his gestures of attention reassure the girl. The main character hates people like that. Pedro noted that this was their first meeting since that banquet. The guy apologized for not helping the lady then, even though he should have. Camilla said everything was fine. The main character herself saw him sneak out of the hall. Pedro admitted that he had heard that she had a very beautiful flowering garden, and asked if he could take a look. Camilla herself noticed that he was good enough. She told Rub that Mr. Pedro wanted to admire their garden, and she asked him to take him to the right place. This surprised Pedro quite a bit. Camilla wished him to enjoy the view. Rub told them which way they needed to go in order to get to the flower garden. Duke Javelin said that he heard that the Duke had not yet found his divine beast. The gentleman asked why he came. Javelin said a business discussion was on the agenda. The Duke suggested getting straight to the point. Javelin heard that he was extracting unusual minerals from the mine, which recently came into his possession, and asked him why he doesn't entrust the business to their Utah trading organization. Sorfel didn't understand why this would happen. The man said that Sorfel knew nothing about the benefits of this mineral, but they would help, and when he starts selling, he will be able to carry it out through the company. Sorfel decided to refuse. Haviland didn't understand why, because he obviously would have more connections. Sorfel said that even if so, he still would not hand the case over to him. Javelin called him stubborn butter and believed he was just angry. But Sorfel assured that not at all. Camille called her father and said that she had brought some snacks. Her father called her to come into the room. When the girl came in, the father asked if this tea was new, because he didn't remember her bringing anything like it. Camilla heard that he hasn't been sleeping well lately. This tea relaxes and promotes sleep. An obedient and caring child is something that people have boasted about at all times, especially in front of others. The daughter said that she would bring him another cup before bed. The Duke is grateful and asked her if she would like to sit down with them. Camilla asked if she could, because she didn't know if she would interfere with their conversation. The Duke told her to sit down next to him. For some reason, Duke Javelin doesn't seem to be jumping for joy at this picture. He has a divine beast on his shoulder. It seems like no one but her can see him. Nobody cares. The main character was very interested in whether it could be that they were like ghosts until they were summoned. Her father told Camilla that the tea today was as good as ever. The daughter was incredibly happy that he liked it. Well, of course, this drink was made by Darren. He is a master of tea brewing and works as the best butler. Camilla asked Duke Javelin if he would like to try, and I hoped that he would like it. The man agreed to try. The girl saw from his face that he would definitely want more. The divine beast asked her if she could see him. Camilla didn't understand what it was, because she thought that only the head of the family was capable of hearing the voices of divine beasts. The bird told her that she had a very pure soul. It was you who called the divine beast, calling him Jetty. The main character noticed that his name is the same as the Korean chocolate drink. He grew up so quickly. This means that he manifests himself as soon as the owner calls him, and until then, he is a real ghost. Duke Sorfel asked him in horror why he summoned the divine beast without any reason. Javelin said with a smile that he just wanted to admire it. He believed Javelin wanted to burn the place down. The man said that he understands that this is alien to him. The divine beasts are so wonderful that you can't take your eyes off her. Duke Sorfel told him to sit at home and admire as much as he liked. This man is just kidding. The divine bird flew up and sat on Camilla's lap. Javelin called for Jetty, but he did not respond to him. This already angered the Duke, and he called her angrily. But the bird said that she didn't want to, because he likes it there. This child has a very pure soul. It's like she was just born. The Duke did not understand what he was talking about. He likes Camilla. Camilla apologized. She is popular among such creatures. Sorfel noticed that his divine beast liked his daughter more than he did. Javelin stood up and started yelling at him not to talk nonsense because he only listens to him. But Jetty did not react. Sorfel laughed at this. The main character did not understand how to act in such a situation. A few days later, the maid asked if the mistress was sure that she would be okay. She should probably change faculty, as the Duke advised. Camilla assured that everything was fine and she would cope. The maid did not understand what this man was constantly worrying about. Although she understands her, Camilla was in captivity for some time, so it's hard to let go. In the end, she stayed where she was. James and Hamel's duel now begins. Fencing. The Sorfel family is famous for its swordsmen. They have 2 swordmasters, which are superior to everyone on the continent. That's why she chose this direction. I wanted to prove that I was also part of the family. Such a choice had to be made with at least some rudiments of talent. It is so hard. The main character didn't understand why she should take on something that she doesn't understand at all, although, to some extent, she understands her. Maybe this was the last hope. Well, the choice was Camilla's. It can't be changed. There is a chance that she will come back, so she will not retreat. The sky is so clear that Camilla already wanted to take a nap. Camilla is a very inconspicuous student. Even the teachers don't pay attention to her. Such a pleasant place in the shade of a tree. And then she saw a ghost who had a sword in his chest. But Camilla decided that it was better not to contact him. The main character began to search for an equally good place. But it turned out that there was not a single shadow anymore. It just sucks. He doesn't look at her even after she approaches. It's such a relief. You can't just stare at a student match, because it can attract attention. The guys noticed Lady Camilla. Pedro was shocked that she was sleeping during class. And because this is the same Camilla, it's like she's a completely different person. He thinks who could even come up with the idea of sleeping during class, and this is Lady Camilla. Everyone thought she was crazy. Pedro said that even if she was lying there, they still needed to go to class. The guy said that she had seriously changed a lot. So carefree during class. Someone touched the guy and he said, "Damn." Turning around, he saw a guy asking if he was saying this when addressing him. This is Arshan Sephra. The guy immediately started apologizing, but Arshan said with a smile that there was no need for an apology because he was not going to apologize. The Sephra family is known for its brilliant magicians. And as the eldest son, Arshan also has incredible strength. Unlike other magicians, he is also physically well built. But there's one thing he doesn't have, and that's humanity. There was one incident last year. A transfer student who didn't yet know about the people in the school got into a fight with him. But in the end, he beat him half to death. Every time the guy was on the edge, Arshan healed him and started all over again. Again and again. Everyone who watched the fight at that moment felt as if he had lost his mind. Pedro came up and said that there was no point in spreading the conflict out of nothing, because there was a slight misunderstanding. He told Arshan that since they had already apologized to him, he could just ask, and they would separate and forget about it. Arshan asked if he was a clown, and he said that it would be very interesting to see if he would continue to smile like that when he punched him in the face. Pedro said it sounded tempting. Well, despite this, going further into them is the best idea. Arshan hit the guy and told him not to call him by name as if they were friends. He doesn't want to listen to it. Someone noticed them, and Arshan finally said to try not to catch his eye. This girl's behavior was very suspicious. He didn't believe that she could see them either. Here, there, and even in the classroom, ghosts are everywhere. Camilla thought it was time to take a nap, and the teacher came up and said that it looked like she wasn't very interested in her lesson. The girl remembers this teacher. She cannot even raise her head at the sight of Duke Sorfel. Therefore, when he is not around, he asserts himself at the expense of Camilla during classes. There are many people in the class openly sleeping in their seats, and it's unclear why she had to be pulled over. She's an evil woman. The woman did not know how to understand her behavior, because she acts as if her subject is not worth attention. Camilla said that she was standing, and the teacher asked if this meant that she was able to solve absolutely any problem. In this case, she should go to the board. The teacher behaves like a child. It may not be obvious from her, but she graduated from the University of S. Since she was an orphan, she acted slightly irresponsible and used this as an excuse. And even though acting left her almost no time to sleep, but she never gave up her studies. In addition, the main character also watched Camilla study for 20 years. She solved an exam task that she had already seen more than 10 times. Camilla asked if she could sleep now. She stayed there for half a day, and she feels as if she starred in 3 TV series at once. The main character is very interested in why there are so many ghosts in the academy. It's so soft in the carriage that she's already falling asleep. Lady Camilla has already arrived. Lavushka slept very well during this time. Thinking about it this way, it was the first time since she had been here that she was able to admire the sunset. The main character's life is going downhill. The sunset is so beautiful. Camilla was called by Dad. He was glad that his daughter returned. Camila was shocked that he came out to say hello to her, the usual greeting said by a father to his daughter just returning from school. She never had it. The girl burst into tears. She's gone crazy because she doesn't understand why she's crying. The father didn't understand what was going on at all. He came up and asked what happened. The main character has never had this before. No one met her at home. Her faithful friend has always been darkness. She met her. And when her mother died, a man who called himself her father came to demand money from her. But the girl did not shed a tear then. She had never spoken out loud the words that she was home. The girl could not even dream of such a thing. The Duke congratulated her on her return. She had a hard time today. The main character was very ashamed. She didn't understand why at that moment they all pushed out. Rudville, Ravi, and others simply watched. The main character is hungry for some reason. Well, I'm ashamed, and that's enough. She is trying to survive. She can't starve like that. Camilla decided to change clothes and see how things were going in the kitchen. Ravi asked her what took her so long, calling her a turtle. The lady did not understand at all what was wrong with him, and she was very surprised that he was waiting for her. Camilla asked if there was at least one turtle in the world whose beauty could stand on a par with hers. Ravi didn't understand where she got such self-confidence from. Camilla said she would stop joking as long as he didn't make that face. He threw something into the girl's hands and told her to take it. The girl asked what it was. This is a bracelet to throw at someone you don't like. Camilla didn't understand why it wasn't humanly possible. Ravi still said that this magic bracelet can immobilize a person. If something happens, she can just use it instead of crying like a 5-year-old. The main character did not understand why he gave it to her. He probably thinks that she is being bullied at the academy. Camilla invited Brother Ravi to go along. The guy said that he already told me to contact him normally. Camilla asked Ravi if she would fall in people's eyes if she used this bracelet. The guy told her not to worry, because her reputation could not be saved. Time is inexorable, and the main character knows it. The ghost butler told the lady that the water was warm enough, but she refused. The butler said that now is the season, because everyone only swims in it. She knew about it even without him. The main character has run out of excuses and can't put it off any longer. After all, this is one of her main tasks. The Lake of Souls is the symbol of Fabler Academy. If the previous Duke's words are to be believed, the egg is here somewhere. Rudville seems to have been a graduate of this academy. She was surprised that he didn't carry the Divine Beast pendant with him. The place, in general, is not the most obvious. The girl was cold and called the butler a liar. The water is icy and she can't feel her fingers. The butler said that Mr. Herschel was nervously awaiting her actions. Camilla said that he had been waiting for decades, so it will still have to wait. The ghost tried to ask her again, but Camilla said that she would return when the water gets warmer. She told him to stop lying and whining because she couldn't be fooled anymore. The main character asked the ghost if he had to follow her to the academy every time. The butler said that Mr. Herschel was simply desperate. The main character understood him perfectly. Well, if your heat seems deep. The butler said not to worry about it, because he has already checked and has a rough idea of where the egg might lie. She just has to follow him. Camilla was never afraid of water, but still later. She saw a guy telling a girl not to break, and she wondered who it was. The lady said that she had nothing to talk to him about, and the guy offered to drink a cup of tea. The main character did not understand what kind of old-time remarks these were. Shame. The girl is not at all interested. The guy said she didn't seem to know her place. Her family is not even part of high society, and he does not understand how she dares to refuse him. He grabbed the girl's hand and told her to be grateful that she was paying attention to her. He arrogantly asked if she knew what kind of family he was. Camilla asked him if he really believed that anyone cared what kind of family he was, and she told him that first he needed to work on his behavior. The girl asked if he slept during his native language lessons. It is not surprising that he has such a meager vocabulary and no understanding of other people's feelings. She doesn't care about his family and just doesn't like him. The guy was in complete shock when he saw her. Camilla was surprised that he recognized her. The guy asked if she was alone here. The main character didn't understand what was wrong. The guy couldn't believe that two arrogant, rude idiots were here with him. He asked how her reputation was and whether she needed any more problems. Therefore, it is better for her to leave here. Camilla noted that he should worry about his own. Jude Habley, second son of the Duke of Habley, 20 years. The child of a concubine who showed his terrible character from childhood. The guy asked in horror what she was talking about. 3 years ago, on March 15th, the Duke kidnapped the daughter of Viscount Sable and abused her. She couldn't believe that there was such a bastard in front of her. In order to hush up this incident, a huge amount of money was needed. The butler suggested all this to her. The guy asked in horror what she was saying and how she knew about it. Camilla said it was just curiosity. The butler said the bastard didn't deserve to live and was just disgusting. The main character was wondering how a simple butler knew about this. The guy grabbed her and ordered her to vividly tell everyone how she knew about this. Now, if she knows this, then she probably knows what else he's done. Even after what he did to them, no one said anything. Everyone is trying to hide their shame, and he didn't think she was any different. The girl screamed at him to stop because she was not to blame for anything. Just think, there's so much rot in a person. The main character didn't even know that this was possible. The guy was thinking about what he should do with this little one. There's no one here, and Camilla has nothing to lose. She threw the bracelet at the guy. He didn't understand what it was and ordered her to remove it immediately. He turned out to be quite useful, and the main character was grateful to her brother. The guy shouted for her to remove the ropes. The girl said that if he made noise, she would really remove them. Apparently he doesn't want to die. And then the girl remembered that she did not ask her brother how to free him. The guys approached them and didn't ask Jude what he was doing there. He was gone for a long time, so they decided to come over. He said that he could handle it himself. Jude yelled at the guys not to let her leave. Camilla should have guessed that he was not alone. And now she understands what to do. If you try to run away, it is unclear whether she will be able to break away from them. And then her brother appeared behind her. Camilla didn't understand at all what he was doing here. Ruville was just passing by. The girl did not understand at all where he was going, since this place was along the way. He's so weird. But now is not the time to figure it out. Ruville asked if they were the reason for her tears. Camilla didn't understand what he was talking about. The girl doesn't know why he suddenly decided to ask about this, but it's worth playing along with him. Camilla confirmed his words. Ruville told his sister to stand behind him. Camilla was happy because they were all dead, and I was even afraid to imagine what would have happened if he had not come. The girl who was sitting on the floor was grateful to Camilla. She apologized for herself and asked if the lady was hurt. If you look closely, she knows her. The girl introduced herself by the name Layla. She is Layla Hastam. She is familiar with this name. She is the real protagonist of this world. While everyone was trying to avoid Camilla, she, on the contrary, extended her hand. Camilla did not like this behavior at all, despite the fact that they were both once adopted. The result was completely different. Camilla screamed at her that she hated her and wanted her to disappear. They both live with foster parents. But for some reason, she's not like that. She is loved. And now Pedro is also interested in her. Because of her jealousy, she even tried to kidnap and kill her. But the father came into the room and ordered Camilla to stop, because she had crossed the line of what was permitted. She asked her father to have mercy on her. It seems that after that, everyone completely turned their backs on Camilla. Well, that's entirely justified. Not only did she kidnap, but she also wanted to kill her. It turns out that she transferred to them at this time. She provoked Camilla the most. She didn't understand how she could forget about her. Camilla offered her hand to Lila and asked if she wanted to continue sitting in the dirt. The girl was grateful. Camilla said that if she was truly grateful, then she should no longer go anywhere with such people. Lila said she didn't go with him. Camilla did not understand in what sense. Lila said she followed her. After all, she went into the forest all alone. It was very dangerous, so she decided. The main character asked what it was and if she knew it. Layla confirmed this and noted that everyone was only talking about her. What is Camilla wearing? What jewelry is she wearing? They even discuss how the girl braids her hair. During recess, the guys were talking about what Camilla did in class. The girl, of course, understood that she was attracting attention, but not enough. All they did was discuss it. Lila wanted to meet Camilla. Her look is very familiar. Many new actresses looked at her the same way. Lila hoped that they would become friends with her. The main character did not understand why this girl needed her. Camilla was called by her brother, as expected from a swordmaster. He dealt with them so quickly. The bracelet broke. The guy apologized, but Camilla said that everything was fine. Nothing could be done about it. She will just ask Ravi's brother to fix it. Ruville was surprised that it was Ravi who made this bracelet for her, but I didn't understand why. To be honest, Camilla doesn't know herself. The main character believed that he cared so much about his little sister. Brother, after all. Rudville tightened his grip on the bracelet. Camilla didn't understand at all why he broke her bracelet. I was in complete shock and even horror. Kind of weird. Rudville was never interested in anyone. The first one who could attract his attention should have been Lila. But for some reason, he didn't even look at her today. In her dreams, she saw how these two, from the very first meeting, awoke an inexplicable craving for each other. But due to the fact that the male characters, Ravi and Pedro, interfered with the others, everything became more complicated. If she remembers correctly, they were supposed to meet at the market. Maybe it's all about the location. They were near the lake, and yet the girl decided that she had nothing to do with this, and it was better for her to get some sleep. The Ghost Duke asked her to wake up for a while. Camilla drove him away through sleep, and he continued to ask her to wake up. The man noticed that they had not seen each other for a long time. Camilla didn't understand how he got here. The Duke himself didn't know. The main character was shocked that the inhabitants could move like that. He kept waiting for news from her. And today, for some reason, some lightness appeared in my body. A ghost that feels the weight of its missing body is delusional. Maybe it's because she agreed to help him. She didn't think ghosts were capable of this. Now there may be more of them. By the way, he asked when she would take the divine beast egg. It's not as simple as it seems. The ghost said that he even said the place and did not understand what was so difficult. You can't leave an egg unattended for so long. The butler said he was right. Camilla didn't understand where Darren came from here. Because their family still does not have a divine beast, so many problems have accumulated and she should hurry up. The lady said that she understood them and she would take the egg. But first you need to prepare something. The ghosts asked again. The lady began to cough. The maid immediately burst into her room. They did not understand what happened to the lady and whether she was okay. Even my father came. He sat down next to her and asked what happened. She said that she had a dream. There were a lot of fabrics in his office, and suddenly everything was on fire. She screamed for him to get out of the fire, but he did not move and continued to stand right in the middle of the fire. Ravi didn't understand what she was up to again. He didn't even notice how he came running here. Her father said with a smile that despite the fire, she thought about saving him. Camilla said it was so terrible and apologized. The father said it was nothing to worry about. She must have been very scared. Camilla created such a fuss on purpose. Very soon, a large fire will break out in a textile factory owned by the Sorfel family. She doesn't know exactly before that, but it happened a week after Lila appeared. The main character specifically talked about it as if she had dreamed it. The Duke's assistant ran into the room. He reported that there was a problem. A textile factory in the Burke area caught fire. It was late and no one was hurt, but the factory will not be able to operate for some time. The Duke asked what he was talking about, and he suggested going to the office. The maids were whispering among themselves, because the lady had just said the same thing. Some thought it was just a coincidence, but still, it was great because the ground was prepared. The ghost did not understand what the connection was. The Duke asked if she wanted to plant a flower. Camilla told them to think for themselves. If she suddenly brings an egg, what will people say? The Duke said that they would be delighted. At first, perhaps, and then they will bombard her with questions about how she found out about his location. And if she honestly admits that the late Mr. Herschel told her about this, they will say that she has completely gone off the rails. Therefore, it needs soil. The ghost asked whether to say that she saw the egg in a dream, and asked whether she thought that they would believe her. The butler also doubted it. Camilla said that was why they had to prepare the ground. They have arrived. The Duke asked what kind of place this was. Camilla said there was fertilizer here. The Duke asked how she knew there would be a fire in the textile factory, and I thought it was such a coincidence. The ghost asked her how it happened, and the girl ignored their questions and asked what to buy before tea. It will take time to get the factory up and running again. Fortunately, there were no casualties. The man noticed that they had not seen Camilla for a long time. The main character greeted Count Shillan and assumed that he had come because of the fire. The man confirmed this. He also doesn't understand how she could have predicted this event. By the way, she didn't think that he was interested in the Sorfel family business. Camilla said not to worry, because he may have heard that they say that luck and misfortune always go together. She has a gift for him. The Count did not understand at all what it was. Camilla said it was luck. The man asked if it was possible to open it now. The girl allowed him to do this, and when Count Shillan opened it, he realized that this was the same one. The maid asked her friend if she had heard the news that Countess Shillan had finally become pregnant. They say Lady Camilla found out about this before anyone else. She suddenly decided to give the Count Shilon children's shoes. She said that he would need it soon. The boots, by the way, are for a girl, so they don't think this means that a young countess will be born. Viscount Basil recently brought in a new business partner, and as soon as people saw him, they immediately shook their heads in disapproval. Everyone found this suspicious. The Viscount decided to delve into the man's past, and it turned out that he was a fraudster. She knew that the headmaid's mother would soon die. The lady told her to come home quickly. She went. Then her mother died. It seems to the girl that the story about the fire is also not a coincidence. It's so amazing. She's more talented than the most popular street fortune tellers. The father turned to Camilla and asked what was happening. Everyone says she can see the future. Camilla said that she herself doesn't know. Sometimes she dreams about it. And in rare cases, when she sees some characteristic signs, the pictures simply pop up in her head. The Duke asked her if she had any pain. His daughter told him not to worry. He asked her to let him know if she felt anything. There is one dream that she dreams every night. The Duke asked in horror if he was some kind of nightmare. Camilla denied this, and she said that she wanted to check him herself and then tell him everything. The father asked if this was something dangerous for her. Camilla said that this is not the case at all. Everything was fine, because all that remained was to find the egg of the divine beast. The main character is not a very good swimmer, but she has a ghost who will show her everything. Camilla asked the butler if it was really not deep there. He assured her that he had checked everything. He said that she would get him very quickly. The ghost offered to start and said that he would go first. Even though the water is very icy, it is very clear. The ghost told where to go because he found where the egg was hidden. The main character dived under the water and was surprised because she thought the egg was an ordinary glass bead. The girl noticed that she was very beautiful, but it was time to go upstairs because there was not enough air. And then the girl saw Donna, who was rapidly swimming towards her. She grabbed the lady and said that she should not die. Camilla couldn't breathe. Donna asked the mistress if she was able to come to her senses. It was because of the ghost that she lost consciousness. It's good that at least she didn't drop the egg. Camilla asked Donna where she even came from, and she asked what came over her mistress. Donna tearfully asked Camilla why she climbed into the lake and did not understand why she wanted to die. Camille tried to say something, and Donna said that if she died again, this time it would be forever. This horrified Camilla. She didn't understand what this meant, and what she even meant. Donna said that she won't be able to go back in time like before. Camilla asked again what she said. All the maids were horrified when they saw the completely wet mistress. They asked if she was okay. Rudville asked if these were the culprits again. Camilla told her brother that she wanted to rest. The ghosts wanted to tell her something, but Camilla ordered them to leave her. Camilla said that if now, in this place, at this moment, anyone eavesdrops or spies, then she swears that she will never speak to them again. Camille told Donna to come inside. The maid asked if she wanted to change clothes, or how about some tea? Camilla said no need and asked her who she was. The maid did not understand in what sense, and said that she was her maid Donna. The lady asked if she wanted to die, and she ordered me to speak faster. If she dies, then this time it will be forever, because she will not be able to return to the past. Camilla did not understand what she meant. The main character asked why she ended up in this world and did not understand what was happening. After all, Donna knows something. Donna said she would tell her the truth. Donna is a keeper of souls. Well, at least she was. Camilla asked if she was her anymore. Donna admitted that she was kicked out because she made a mistake. Donna mixed up the souls and settled them in the wrong place. Camilla asked if this meant that she placed someone's souls in bodies that did not belong to them. Donna said that the lady understood everything correctly. How, for example, people can be comfortable in the same style of clothing. Likewise, some souls feel in their place only in certain bodies. If you follow in the wrong direction, then discord will occur. To be specific, those around you will begin to reject the owner of this soul. Camilla asked again, and Donna said that relatives hate. Others are jealous, all that. Their mere presence causes irritation among others. The main character has already realized that it was her soul that was in the wrong place. Donna confirmed this. You see, from the very beginning, the souls of Lady Xia and Lady Camilla accidentally got mixed up. But she not only sensibly and quickly assesses the situation, but also has amazing intelligence. Camilla told her to shut up. And all because their souls were not in their bodies from the moment of birth. The main character asked if she should have been born in this body in the first place. Donna was on her knees and said that she was right. Camilla didn't understand the reason. Camilla screamingly asked why she didn't return the souls to their places if she realized that she had made a mistake. She didn't understand why Donna didn't do it. The maid said that pulling the soul out of the body is not so easy, especially when they are in different universes. Any violation of the laws of one world violates order here too. There was only one important requirement. They should have felt each other's presence. Donna is sure that she has been watching this place for a long time. To feel the presence means that Lady Camilla saw the life of the main character in her dreams. Now the main character understood that she belonged to this place, and he will not be able to return to his universe. And if she dies, it will be the end for her. Donna said that she was great because she grasped everything on the fly. The girl asked if this meant that in her world she was dying. Donna confirmed this and said that her father killed Miss Licia. Previously, he only threatened her to get money, but after that he did not return. She couldn't believe that she would ultimately die at his hands. The main character asked if Camilla could finally die in the world of Li Shi. Donna said that Miss Licia is aware of these details. She tries her best to survive there, and also tries to get rid of all possible threats and risks. Camilla believed that she was doing the right thing. Otherwise, she would be an idiot, and she was already mentally prepared. The reason why Donna dragged Camille into her past over and over again was because she didn't want to miss the moment when they would feel each other's presence. Licia is the name of the main character, but it feels alien. And yet she doesn't understand why it all took so long. Donna didn't expect it to take so long either, and she doesn't have much power, so at least Mrs. Camilla from this world managed to feel her presence at the last moment of her life and broke this vicious circle. Camilla remembered that same ghost, and I realized that it was the same Licia, the real one. If only they had missed this opportunity, there wouldn't have been a better chance. But they succeeded. A crack appeared in both worlds, and they were able to switch bodies. The main character did not understand why this maid was so proud of herself. She hit her a little and said that she was lucky that she didn't hit girls. Donna asked if Camille was happy that she was a girl. She asked to be allowed to finally introduce herself properly, and she turned into a man named Dorman. This is his real form. Now Camilla understood that she was actually a guy. It's not really important to them, but to be precise, yes. The main character didn't understand at all why he was pretending to be a girl. He wanted to support my lady and be as close to her as possible, and it seemed to him that a woman's guise would be more appropriate. Camilla said he helped her take a bath. The guy said that he already said that their gender doesn't really matter. The girl ordered him to shut up, and yet he was kicked out, and now he is deprived of most of his powers. He can't even see ghosts anymore. Camilla decided that she could see them due to the fact that her soul was initially in the wrong place. Camilla said that this is not the case. It is just his peculiarity. In the meantime, she lives the full life that was destined for her. He still has a chance to return to his position. By the way, they died so many times in agony, bleeding, screaming in pain, and all because of him. Well, if you look at it that way. Camille ordered him to call his superiors, but the guy didn't understand why. The girl said that when an employee makes a mistake, the manager must take responsibility. Dorman said that they are already doing everything to fix it. Camilla didn't understand what to fix, and where everyone else was looking. The man assured her that sending a soul back after so many imaginary deaths was not something everyone could do. They worked so hard so that they could feel each other's presence without harming the worlds. Camilla said it wasn't her problem. Li Si was born with many talents, and to apologize to her, they gave her a huge amount of luck and blessings. Every film in which the main character starred became a hit, and she couldn't believe that it was because of them. The girl asked what about Camilla. What did she get? Dorman was very embarrassed to say this, but she got it. He is her faithful assistant, who is ready to support her at any moment. Camilla asked if he was her main advantage. The man confirmed this, and the girl immediately kicked him out. Donna looked after her. She should be glad she's on her side. Although, if you think so, if it weren't for her, then none of this would have happened to them. But the main character took the egg of the divine beast. She thought it was better to give it to the Duke as soon as possible. The maid asked Dorman to help her, and the other told him not to forget to come for a snack later. Dorman greeted Mrs. Camilla with a smile. The girl didn't understand what it was and why they acted as if everything was fine because he changed his gender. He said that this is one of his abilities. As long as he is with Lady Camilla, no matter what form he takes, no one will pay attention to it. So this is one of the residual skills. Camilla told him to forget it and noted that he didn't have to tag along with her everywhere because she won't die because he's not around. Since this is all destined to happen, he at least warned. If she had gone through these circles of hell with the knowledge that everything would end when they changed, then her life would have been much easier. But this is beyond Dorman's expertise. Until the souls return to their business, telling them anything about this is strictly prohibited. Unstable souls are more fragile and prone to destruction. Camilla did not understand how he helped her then. The man, who did not answer, offered her tea. He decided that he would clean her room for now. Camilla said that he was useless and of no use. Dorman said that the lady is very cruel. The lady said she was leaving. Someone tried to stop her, but she did not listen to him. Suddenly, the girl met the butler. She asked Rub if her father was inside. Poe said that the gentleman was receiving a guest. Duke Javelin has arrived. Camilla wanted to talk to him alone and give him the egg. Rub wanted to ask the mistress something about her hair. Camilla remembered that they were still wet. The girl said that she just decided to take a swim. Rub was surprised that Mrs. bathed in such weather. The lady noticed that she had been feeling a bit hot lately. Rube asked if he needed to order that her room not be heated, but Camilla immediately said no, because she was cold at night. Usually the lady was cold at this time of year, but now she decided to swim. She said she was just looking for something and asked him not to look at her like that. Rudville was stupidly interested in what she was looking for. He said that if she came to see her father, she could come in. Camilla said that this is what she came for, but she would taste her father later. Rub said that everything will be fine and she can pass. He is sure that Duke Javelin will be glad to see her. Well, since he insists, Camilla decided to agree, but she didn't understand at all why everything wasn't going according to plan. Jetty was very happy when the mistress came. She was glad that the lady found him. He seemed to immediately understand what was going on. It seems that divine beasts can sense each other. And yet Camilla has a beautiful soul. Judging by how big he is now, who dares she guess that the Duke has not yet summoned him? Father told Camilla to come in. Javelin noted that he was glad to see her again. The girl said hello and said that it was mutual, but she didn't understand why he was acting so friendly. This is strange, because suddenly the girl heard some very strange sound. The Duke's pendant worked, which meant that a divine beast was nearby. Camilla noticed that this was the same pendant. She heard that he reacts when the egg is nearby. Now she knows. Rub said it was in the lady's pocket. My father noticed this too. Camilla herself confirmed that there was an egg of a divine beast there. The Phantom was very proud of Camilla because she succeeded. He jumped out of nowhere, like a ghost, even though he is a ghost. White Tiger, divine beast of the Sorful family. With his roar he is able to stun enemies, and with a swing of his claws shed rivers of blood. And then a little tiger cub appeared and meowed. It was a kitten who meowed and looked at the mistress. The Duke was very happy. Camilla thought it would be a tiger and didn't understand at all why it was so small. The Ghost Duke was very happy that this tiger cub was finally home, calling him an adorable baby. Camilla was shocked that this was a divine beast. The thing is that he could not wake up for a long time. He's small now, but that's normal, so she doesn't have to worry. The cat immediately jumped into Camilla's arms. Jetty was sure that he liked her. It is not that simple. Divine beasts are creatures that represent the heads of families. Therefore, Camilla does not understand why he is bothering her, but the look on Dad's face. He looks so happy. The ghost said that, of course he was happy. If you just think how shameful it was for 100 years to think that the duchy had lost its beast. What a relief. But then everyone started calling Camilla, and she fainted. The cat quickly ran towards her. Everyone didn't understand why this happened. Dorman told the lady that she needed to take medicine, but she herself understood this and wanted Dorman not to shout like that. Pierre said that if he were alive, you would prepare something nutritious for her. Camilla was grateful to him. The Duke shouted at the maids and did not understand why she did not wake up. He told her to call another doctor. Camille didn't want him to blame them because she just had chills. The Ghost Duke asked the child to wake up because he needs to give her something. She was very interested in what it was, and Darren just cried over her. This is a hand, this is Brother Rudville. Ravi asked her to wake up because he had fixed the bracelet. If she doesn't wake up, he'll break it again. Camilla couldn't believe how he could say such things about his sick sister. The main character began to feel something warm nearby. It was the tiger cub lying under her blanket. The girl grabbed him and asked why he was here again. No matter how you look at it, it's just a cat to cook. Dorman was simply delighted that the lady woke up. The Duke ran into the room. He was very glad that she felt better. He, of course, has a lot of questions. She has lost so much weight, and only a few days have passed. The Duke said she needed to rest, but Camilla stopped her father and said that this baby. But the Duke interrupted her and said that it seemed that he was not eager to leave her. The main character did not understand what he was talking about. When they tried to take him away, he began to hiss at them and even used his claws. After a while, they found him here. But the Duke believes that even so he understands that he is the head of the family, because he's not mad at him. Now she should get a good night's sleep. Dorman tells Madame not to forget to take these medications. Camilla doesn't like animals, and she doesn't even know what to do. Still, she decided to go to bed. She climbed under the blanket without the cat, but he curled up into a ball next to her. The divine beast seems to understand that she is sick, and he tries in every possible way to maintain her health. In the morning, they asked Camilla if she jumped into the river to find the egg of the divine dawn. The Duke called her a fool, and she didn't understand how she even decided to do this. She hasn't been scolded for a long time. The girl apologized and said that she made sure no one was around, so it won't harm the family's reputation. The Duke did not understand what she was talking about, because that's not the problem. Ruville said it didn't matter. Ravi asked if she was an idiot, because she didn't understand what reputation had to do with it. The main character was shocked that she was being reprimanded not because she, the lady of the Sorfel family, had behaved irresponsibly. The Duke told her to try not to commit such rash acts in the future. Camilla noticed that it was not so dangerous. The cat was again near the lady. She was surprised and didn't understand why he was pursuing her. The Duke said that this is all because divine beasts like to absorb other people's energy. Camilla asked again. Divine beasts grow due to pure energy, so he wants to be next to Camilla all the time. Now the girl understood that because of this, he continued to lick her. It is enough for them to simply be near the person they like. It is not necessary for him to lick Camille. In this case, Camilla took it off her. The girl asked if it was okay that he was with her all the time. The Duke said that even if he is the head of the family, this does not mean that the divine beast is due to him. Camilla didn't understand what he was talking about. The man just said that it just happened that way. Usually the head of the family has the purest energy, which is liked by the divine beast. But in their case, it seems that it was given to Camilla. That idiot's divine beast was also interested in her. The last time he came, it was about Camilla. The red eagle was looking for her. The girl did not understand why it was her. The Duke didn't know because he refused to answer. The main character cannot be sure that everything will be fine if this kitten remains with her. The father thanked Camilla again, because thanks to her, not a trace remained of their regrets, and he is glad that the feminine beast can finally return to them. This is good. Camilla hoped that she had put some distance between herself and her terrible fate. He believed that the girl deserved the award, and if Camilla wants something, then she must let the Duke know. After all, she brought to them someone whom they no longer hope to find. Be that as it may, all the wealth of their family rightfully belongs to her. Camilla was delighted, and thought that she should ask for a little now, because it is unclear what will happen next. We need money now most of all, but she won't be able to ask directly. She asked her father to give her what was on his table. The Duke asked if she even knew what it was. Camilla said that of course she knows because it's a mine, or is it too much? Her father said that this was not true at all, because he could have as many of these mines as she wanted. It's just not very useful. He just took a closer look at the magical tower, but they didn't find anything profitable there, and he suggested that she take the ruby mine in the south. But she said she did her own research, because she wants to develop this unsightly mine herself. We asked my father if they had agreed, and he, of course, agreed. Camilla was very happy, very grateful to Dad. The ghost did not understand why she was so happy, because it was an ordinary black stone. Looks like she's not that experienced after all. Camilla said it was a breakthrough. The butler asked if she knew what it was. This is a magic stone. The butler apologized and said that the magic tower itself was studying them. According to research, the amount of mana inside these stones is so small that they are unlikely to be useful. Camilla said that the fact of the matter was that the magic tower was studying them. The ghost did not understand what she meant. This is a magic stone, and it's unclear who else would do this. Camilla said that this could be done by black magicians, who are not in the magic tower. Mages are divided into white and black. Since the latter use mana, otherwise they were previously feared and mostly ignored. But now people have begun to actively take an interest in their skills, and in order for the current from this stone to increase, you need to turn to black magicians. They do not react at all to white magicians, but for their brothers, they will be incredibly valuable. Moreover, if I purify them, even white magicians can use them. A real treasure for any black magician. Camille told Mr. Herschel that she had accidentally overheard something. It seemed like he was going to give her something. When she arrived at the cemetery, she heard the roar of many ghosts. At least something remains the same. The Duke called her to him. Camilla asked why she came all this way, and I hoped that they would force me to dig up someone's grave. He told her to go ahead. The girl simply couldn't believe it. Camilla didn't understand whether he seriously wanted her to dig up the grave. She, of course, guessed that he was capable of such a thing. The girl refused. She may not have the best reputation, but digging into the grave of our ancestors is completely overkill. The Duke did not understand what she was talking about. Because he doesn't ask her for anything like that, she just has to dig in and that's it. The girl began to dig with her heel. Camilla believed that he could have warned her, then she would have taken the shovel with her. What an amazingly useful thing. Heels. In that place, the girl found a seed. The Duke said it was medicine, a powerful antidote. Camilla didn't understand what it was doing here, if it was medicine. The man noted that he was sure that she had heard about his death. The main character confirmed this. He was brutally poisoned. The ghost noticed that she did not spare her word in front of the victim. It was a very powerful poison. The energy in his body did everything to resist him, although it was already too late. Well, even after death she continued to fight, and after his body rotted too. Actually, this is what happened. Camilla immediately threw it out of her hands. The ghost did not understand how she could do this to a precious seed. The main character asked if she could be more specific about what it is. It is a product of what cleansed his body. It can neutralize any poison. He asked Camille to take him with her, and he would no longer have to worry about her being poisoned. Camille was killed in many different ways. But poison never became the cause of death. The main character did not know whether she would get to use this gift. Camilla asked if there was something else, like a hidden treasure that only he knew about. The Duke laughed and said that there was no such thing. The ghost turned to Camilla again. The girl did not understand what this time, and what he wanted her to do now. The man stroked her head and was very grateful to her. The man gradually began to dissolve into thin air. It seems he has no regrets left. Camilla promised that she would take care of his seed and thanked him. The Duke told her to take care of herself. Camilla needed a black magician. In order to use those stones from my father's mine, you need the appropriate strength. The problem is that black magic only lives in one place. It looks like she has no choice and will have to turn to him. But Camilla is ready for this. When she entered the classroom, no one understood why Camilla was here. Many believed that she decided to do something again. The guys decided that she had come precisely to meet Pedro. She's also a stalker. Wherever a girl goes, everyone talks about her. She approached the guy and said with a smile that she needed help with something and asked if he had time, and also asked for forgiveness in advance. Black magic is a special community, and they live in a lonely castle, which is in the possession of Duke Sephra. In order to sell the stones from that mine, she needs to somehow come to an agreement with them. Arshan is known for his rude disposition. That's why she wouldn't want to get involved with him. But she needs money. However, he won't kill the Duke's daughter, even if she is only formally her. She had a bracelet from her brother with her. Arshan simply stood up and walked past her, ignoring the girl. But Camilla needs an answer today. She must catch up with him. But suddenly, someone grabbed the main character by the hand. It was Pedro. The guy asked Camilla if something was bothering her. He was very interested in what was so urgent that brought her to Arshan. Camilla politely asked him if he could let go of her hand, but he didn't let her go, and he asked her to tell him what happened. And why did she need this guy? Camilla said nothing happened, and asked if he had any more questions. Pedro didn't know what their business was there, but he suggested that she would tell him, and he would tell Arshan. The girl didn't understand why he, Mr. Pedro, should convey her words to the guy. Pedro said that it was bad to say such things about a classmate, but Arshan could put her in danger. Camilla was very grateful for the concern. If that's all, then she's off. She slipped away just like last time. She didn't understand where he was and where he was. He was here just recently, and it is completely unclear to her when and where he managed to go. The ghost asked if she was looking for Arshid. The girl said that she knew where he was and could help with the search. Camilla agreed and said that she would be grateful. But when she turned around, she saw that it was a ghost. The girl knew that she could see her. This is Amy, the ghost of Fabler Academy. This is the same ghost that constantly comes to life behind Camilla. The girl thought that Emmy's ghost was an inhabitant. The ghost noticed that they crossed glances several times. She thought it was her imagination, but it turns out that she actually sees her. Camilla didn't understand at all where this scoundrel had fasted. Emmy said that there was no way she could pretend that she didn't notice her. Camilla asked what she wanted from her. She introduced herself and said that she really knew where Arshan was now, and asked if she was looking for him. But the main character said that she did not want to get involved with him and turned away. Emmy didn't understand the reason at all, and she believed it was because she was a ghost. Camilla said that it was so, and she would rather find him herself. Emmy was glad to talk to someone for the first time in so many years. Arshan is not one who likes crowded places. The place where he could be is the lake. Emmy asked if she planned to go all the way to the Lake of Souls. Camilla didn't understand what she wanted from her, because she said she didn't want to get involved with her. She's a ghost. Camilla told her to fly and have fun with the other ghosts. Emmy said that all the ghosts in this school are very boring. The main character did not understand what she wanted from her. Emmy said she was just chatting. Camilla asked her if she looked like a person with a lot of time, but she still decided to ask if she knew where Arshan was now. I didn't ask where he was. Emmy seemed to the side behind the girl. When she turned back, she saw Arshan there. She was very curious since when he had been standing there. Emmy said that from the moment she came here. Now the main character understood that he had been standing here from the very beginning, and it turns out that he heard her talking to the ghost. Camilla said with a smile that she walks and likes to talk to herself. Yes, she herself understood that this would not work 100%. The guy shouted that he knew what she was seeing. Camilla did not understand at all what was going on. Arshan asked if she sees them too. Camilla asked him why he was so angry, because she was scared. In order to test her, he puts the ghost in danger. The main character asked the ghost if she was okay. Emmy said that not at all, because she thought she was going to die. Camilla said she was already dead. She thought that she would disappear from this world altogether. Emmy guessed that he was a predator and hunted people like her. Camilla asked if he could send ghosts to another world. Arshan was shocked that she was also talking to them. Arshan did not understand why he should deal with such dreary matters. Camilla decided to ask why he was cowering before this. After all, he should have seen how her face turned pale with fear. The guy was simply horrified that she could also see their faces. Camilla said that of course she saw it and asked how he was doing with this. The gentleman admitted that in his eyes they were like black smoke. It turns out that Arshan cannot see the appearance of ghosts. Camilla said that in this case, it's all the more impossible to just take them and scare them. He doesn't know what kind of ghost is in front of him and sends him to the next world. The main character did not think that she would ever protect a ghost. There are so many good ones among ghosts. And then Camilla thought about it. She realized that she had shouted at him. With his nasty character, there is no telling what he might reveal. I should have apologized quickly. Arshan asked if she saw this too, but the girl did not understand what he meant. It's near him. Camilla noticed that a child was standing next to him. This is a thin boy of about 7 years old. Arshan asked in horror who it was. Camilla didn't understand at all why he was so surprised. The guy immediately ran away. The main character did not understand at all what it was. He just turned around and left, and she had been looking for him for so long. You can't show up so suddenly and then just go away. The main character was thinking about what happened to that boy and what kind of death he had. His ghost is so skinny, skin and bones. That's why she doesn't like ghosts. If anything strange catches her eye, she will constantly think about it. The Pope told Camilla to name the divine beast. She named him King so that he would become better than all of his times, more than the rest of the divine beasts. Ravi teased her that it was too simple a name, but she didn't think it was any worse than a chocolate name like Jetty. She hoped the baby liked the name. Well, I didn't know what to do now. She thought that there was no point in disturbing Arshan anymore. There is no telling what he might do to her if she speaks to him again. Therefore, all dark magicians belong to them. Duke Sephra's family is closed off from the outside world to protect the divine beast that rules the darkness. They do not tolerate even the slightest interference from the imperial family. So she turned to Arshan. Camilla couldn't even show him the mineral. Suddenly, the girls became very interested in what it meant to control the darkness. Despite living this life many times, Camilla never encountered the Duchy of Sephra or Arshan. However, she had heard many rumors. The divine beasts of the Duchy of Sephra are the Black Wolf, which has enormous strength. Where his power manifests itself, there is only death. Camilla thought that perhaps she had chosen the wrong name for the divine beast. He's so tiny. Camille told King that if they ever had to fight, he should run away without hesitation. He will win if he stays alive. And he must remember this. Emmy told Camilla that she was cool today and asked if she would study. Previously, she sat silently in the corner of the class, but now she really came to life. Camilla could not think that the first ghost in the class would speak to her. Such a mixed feeling. But she decided not to pay attention to her. Find the divine beast, she got points for karma. Now I need to pass the intermediate exam with flying colors. Then she will gain her father's favor. Everyone became very interested in why he came here. Camilla was also surprised when she saw Arshan next to her. It was not at all clear to her what Arshan was even doing here. He told her that he needed to talk to her. This surprised Camilla, and she asked again. And the girl asked what she would get in return. The guy asked again, and Camilla said that he was asking to give him her time. You should get something in return. Arshan said anything. He will do whatever she wants. At first, he seemed so important. Apparently something happened. Because he wouldn't just offer something like that, there's clearly something wrong here. Then he asked Camille if she could talk to ghosts, and she confirmed it. The guy turned his head and told the kid to ask. The boy asked who he was. No matter how much Camilla looks, she is still surprised at how thin he is. Camilla sat down next to him and said hello. She also gave candy to the boy and asked if he wanted it. The kid asked what it was, and he was wondering if it could be eaten. Camilla told him that these were sweets, and they could be eaten. Apparently, he doesn't even know what candy is. The main character was very interested in what happened to him. Arshan asked her what she was doing. Camilla fed him because he was very hungry. The guy was surprised that ghosts could eat human food. But Camilla said that this was impossible. They try not with the food itself, but with the energy that is in the food. It's better than being completely hungry. Camilla asked if he wanted more, and the boy gladly asked for more. By the way, Camilla asked what his name was. The boy's name was Seer. Arshan asked what she said. Arshan asked near him. The ghost boy burst into tears and called him brother. The main character believed that this was Arshan's younger brother. Judging by the reaction of the guy himself and the baby, Arshan told his brother to eat it, but he said that he was not hungry. The younger brother suggested splitting it and eating it together, but the elder brother told him to eat everything himself. Seer tearfully apologized to his brother. The only food they were given was a small piece of bread and a glass of water. It is unknown how much longer Seer will be able to hold out. If you want to live, kill. Only one can leave this prison. This is the only way he can feel the darkness. You have to kill your own brother to feel this damn power. Arshan believed that it would be okay if he died, and he won't let Seer die. Never. Suddenly, his younger brother fell and started screaming. Arshan took him in his arms and asked what was wrong with him. Arshan started shouting for the doors to be opened. He was in tears, and his younger brother was calling him. Arshan was simply begging for these doors to open. Seer laughed. Arshan didn't understand at all how he could laugh at such a moment. The boy said that he was glad that now his older brother would be able to get out of here. Arshan asked in horror what he was talking about, and Seer just cried and apologized. The boy did not have time to tell his brother that he loved him. Camilla thought it was very nice. He must be very happy to learn about his brother's existence 10 years later. Arshan asked if his brother was saying something, but the boy only asked for candy. Camilla didn't understand at all why she had to be between them and why she had to translate from the language of ghosts. Camilla said that he was asking for more candy. Arshan asked if she had any more candy. She gave because she felt sorry for the child. Seer was simply delighted. Camilla told him not to be shy because he could eat anything. He really is very cute. It would be nice if he recovered a little. Camellia was very interesting if it was a way to fatten up the ghost. The main character said that now she will go, but Arshan forbade her. The girl said that she had no more candy. Arshan firmly said that he would buy it. In that case, she wanted to talk to him. She asked since when he started seeing such creatures. The guy thought about it and said that after this guy died. Camilla asked if he knew that there was a ghost near him, but he did nothing. Or maybe he doesn't know how to get rid of them. Arshan said he knows. All members of their family can get rid of such creatures. Camilla didn't understand why he left him then. Arshan just wanted to leave everything as it was. Since childhood, Seer wanted to follow him on his heels. I thought that after death he would continue to do the same, and so it turned out. The main character told Arshan that the boy was hungry, so he should go and buy something. For the first time in his life, he envies someone. Arshan also really wanted to see him. Camilla came to Arshan and said that he should sign this. All the girls in the class were shocked that she was talking to him informally. Everyone was very interested in what happened between them. Camilla was shocked that he was signing without even reading the contents. This document is about cooperation with a dark magician. The content is simple. It consists only in the help of the dark magician to her. But the main character didn't think that he would just sign it. Arshan once again repeated that he had already said that he would do whatever he wanted. And he gave her the contract. If they have a written document, then he won't be able to argue with her in the future. Camilla said that she wanted to show him something. Everyone didn't understand at all what was going on. Everyone couldn't believe that this was the same Arshan. Everyone was completely shocked when the guy said that he would do anything. Many thought they heard it. Camille greeted Sierra. That's it. They haven't seen each other for just a day, but he's afraid like the first time. The main character suspected that this would happen and prepared something. She brought him a crispy cookie as a gift. She baked it especially for the boy. Sierra was very grateful. The main character constantly wants to feed him treats because he looks like a hamster. Arshan asked her what she wanted to show him. She took a stone out of her pocket. The guy realized that it was a magic stone. He recognized him immediately. Arshan took it in his hands. This is the power of a dark magician. This stone has quite strong energy. Arshan found this interesting because the old people would be ready to crawl out of their skin for him. Camilla was simply delighted. The girl said that this is the smallest of all that she has. There is much more. Arshan asked again what she meant. Camilla admitted that she needed the power of dark magicians, and she noticed that this magic stone was from her mine. These stones react only to the power of dark magicians. She becomes more and more convinced of this every time. Of course, other magicians can process it too. Arshan noted that, of course, the result will be different. Camilla agreed with him. And then the guy said that he would give it to one person. Arshan brought this to his father, the Duke of Sephra. He didn't understand what it was. Arshan added that one girl asked to give this to him. The Duke noticed that this was magic of the stonest level, but then he realized something, and he immediately asked what she wanted. Arshan said that she wants to make a deal. The Duke ordered her to be brought here. The guy said they would come here tomorrow. The Duke asked Arshan how long he needed to wait. Maybe everything is boring. He wants this to end quickly. Sephra was shocked by what his son said to the girl. This is the first time he has done something at someone's request. Besides, he came to him himself. The next day, everything looks as usual. This is not how the main character imagined this duchy. She thought it would be a dark place, infested with ghosts. The lady was greeted by the maids. Their servants are also very ordinary. Camilla was shocked that Arshan entered her father's room without even knocking. When the girl saw Duke Sephra, she was very surprised. She wondered whether Arshan would be the same in the future. Camilla greeted him and said that she was honored to meet him and introduced herself. The man said it was unexpected. This surprised the main character quite a bit. The Duke told her to sit down. He heard that she wanted to make a deal. She said that she wanted him to help her with processing stones to sell, and 10% of the proceeds would be his. The Duke noted that without the participation of a dark magician, it was simply a useless stone, and asked if she thought that 10% would be enough. Camilla laughed and said that the dark magicians themselves want to get this stone. The Duke thought about it. Camilla decided that she would get rid of all these stones, and they would not get anything either. The gentleman said that if she promises to sell them to them first, then he agrees to the deal. Camilla said okay. The Duke asked what this meant. Camilla meant that she agreed. The girl said that she was drawing up an agreement and would come to him again. He agreed. The Duke noted that their black pet seemed to like her, because he did not leave her side. Camilla pretended not to see him. At some point, it seemed that she was called, and she looked at him. She couldn't believe that he understood that she was seeing a divine beast. This kid is not one of those who shows attention to strangers. Rumor has it that she can see the future, and even found the egg of a divine beast. It's surprising that she sees the beast even though he didn't call it. The girl said that she usually doesn't get involved in other people's affairs, but she can't help but ask about it. She doesn't understand why this boy hugs him so tenderly. What does Sierra do and why? A few days ago, Camille had never been interested in ghost stories in her life, but his case does not leave her alone. Camilla asked if she could ask him a question. Sierra agreed. He has a wound on his back, and Camilla asked if his older brother did this to him. The boy stood up and shouted that this was not so. She asked who then, and the boy admitted that it was his dad. He said that this was necessary in order to become the master of the divine beast. Sephra's story about Sephra's family on top of the main character is a huge shock. Simply the worst family of the worst. Dad beat his brother constantly, every day. One day, it became unbearable for him to watch his brother being beaten, and he decided to cover it with himself, and that's how this wound appeared. Only someone filled with hatred, anger, and resentment could become the owner of a sacred animal. It turns out that for centuries the heads of the family were raised in this way. They have been locked in a dungeon for the past 3 months. The brother was released after Seer died. Camille couldn't believe they kept them locked up until one of them died. The Sephra family is definitely not right in the head. It was just terrible. The main character felt very sorry for this boy. At least now she will take care of him and feed him with cookies. Camilla didn't understand at all because she thought that Seer hated her father. But in fact, he loves him. The main character didn't understand how you could ever lovingly hug your father, who literally killed you. The Duke asked if Seer was crying. The main character confirmed his words. Arshan became very angry. He asked if that was all, and if he wanted to say anything more. The gentleman said that was all. Arshan hit the table with his fist and asked if he was serious. Now the son he killed is standing in front of him, and he seriously doesn't want to tell him anything. Sephra did not understand what he should say. Arshan laughed. Camilla tried to calm him down, but he said to mind his own business. Camilla doesn't exactly have a burning desire to interfere in their family squabbles, but he doesn't see it. Seer blocked Arshan's path. Seer apologized and cried many times. Camilla said that he asks his brother for forgiveness. Arshan was simply horrified and did not understand what he was apologizing for. Seer said he said do it. He said that he would go to the basement himself. Camilla asked what he meant. Arshan asked what he was saying. Seer said with tears that Dad was not to blame for anything, and it was him he knew. He knew that he had a couple of months to live. He overhears Dad's conversation with the doctor, so he said that the final test would come, so his brother would become the master of the beast. He didn't want his brother to take it all so hard. Dad is not to blame for his death. When he died, it was the first time he saw Dad cry. Camilla said it all. The Duke said he was just tired of everything. There was no other reason. Then he understood. Why did the previous heads of the family want to die so badly? The family's divine beast was always found in the same place, in the body of its owner. The face of the beast could only be found in the body of the owner. That is, it will have to be cut open. The most useless thing in their family is emotions, the beating of childhood itself, and the death of my brother. This was all done in order to rid Arshan of useless feelings. He needed Arshan to be angry and hate him, for anger to overwhelm his emotions and kill him. The Duke asked to kill him and get the beast's egg. That's all Arshan has to do. Camilla didn't quite understand what was going on. This is tough. She felt like she shouldn't have known about it. Camilla turned to her brother. Ravi asked what she wanted from him. The girl asked what he was doing. Ravi asked if she could see, and by the way, wondered what she was doing here, because she had not come here before. Camilla asked if there was a need for a reason to come to him, since he was, after all, her brother. Camilla asked her brother what kind of person their father was. Ravi didn't understand what she asked, because who could know him better than her? She's gotten closer to him lately. But Camille asked about their biological father. Ravi asked if she wanted to know about her biological father, and I didn't understand why she needed this. Camilla said she was just curious. The main character wondered if he was as terrible as the father from that world. She watched this life for a long time. But I've never heard anything about Camilla's biological father. Ravi said the dream doesn't remember him either, and he asked why she suddenly decided to ask about him. Camille said she just wanted to know. Simple again. The ring she then lost. She was a gift from their real father to their mother. Apart from this, the Ravis don't know anything else. If she has everything, then she should leave here. Camilla turned to her brother again. Ravi asked what else. The girl asked if he was busy. This made him very angry. Ravi shouted and said that if she wanted to say anything else, she should say everything at once, because he already had his hands full. Camilla asked if he wanted her to load him up even more. She gave him a gift in the form of a stone. Ravi asks what is this. When he noticed that it was a magic stone, he asked where she got it from. The girl said it was a secret and ran away. Ravi kept telling her to tell her where she found it. She decided to entrust him with advertising. Emmy asked Camilla what she was holding in her hands, believing it's a contract. How happy Camilla is. All that remains is to earn money, then she will leave the house of this tyrant and live a carefree life. In the meantime, we need to finish the agreement. Darren helped her with drawing up the contract. He said which points must be added. The treaty does not yet have the signature of Duke Sephra. Seer came to Camilla and called her sister. Emmy noticed that this is the same child who constantly hangs around with Arshan. Camilla covered her mouth because she said his name too loudly. Camilla asked the boy what it was, and believed that maybe something had happened to his brother. Seer asked his sister Camilla to stop his brother. A couple of minutes ago, the man noticed Arshan Sephra. He noticed that the guy has been pretty quiet lately. He wanted to take advantage of opportunities to leave his mark on the Duke's family. The man decided to start with praise. He began to say that Duke Sephra is so incredible and that you are changing the empire in families. He is fair, honest, and has outstanding abilities. If he had such a father, then he would not need anything else in this life. Arshan turned around. You told him to shut up because he doesn't know anything and is talking nonsense. The guy said that he just admires him, and he is glad that the empire has such an outstanding person like his father. Arshan once again told him to close his mouth. The guy said that he is nothing to Arshan, and he does not have such a great father as him. He praised his father and asked if he thought anyone else would say something like that to him. Since my father is a duke, he imagines himself to be a duke too. Arshan immediately punched him in the face, and he fell. The guy didn't understand what he was doing. Arshan angrily asked if he knew what his father really was like. Horror. Someone needs to stop her. No one understood who would dare do this. Suddenly Camilla came up and poured water on Arshan. She told him to cool down. The girl asked who would take him to the doctor. Camilla noticed a familiar face. She apologized and asked him to clean up here. Pedro was very surprised by her words. Camilla approached Arshan and told him to come with her. Nobody understood what was happening at all. Camilla called him a good fellow for showing me his anger in front of people and asked if he felt better. Arshan said it was none of her business. She actually didn't want to get involved. Camilla intervened because his brother came to her in tears and asked her to stop him. He looked to the side and turned away. Camilla was shocked that now he didn't even want to see his brother. Everything is confused. After he learned that the father he hated had his own reasons. Camilla understood that he was angry, but no one told him to forgive him now. He said Camilla doesn't understand anything. One of her friends almost died at the hands of her own father. Anger is a natural feeling in such a situation. Obviously, such a person is hated, even if that idiot had his own reasons. Maybe there were some reasons, but what he had to endure will not disappear from his memory, and she will give him one piece of advice. He must leave everything as it is. Arshan asked again. Camilla told him to just let his feelings out. There will come a time when he will get tired of it. Constantly hated, the time will come when he will stop experiencing this. The main character told him not to try to understand what she meant now, or he can do as he knows. The victim says that he will hate the offender all his life, but then who will curse him? Why should they, who have received deep wounds, think about such things? It's not fair. Very. Camilla asked Arshan when he managed to hurt his hand. She asked him not to make Seer cry anymore, because the boy cries when Arshan is in pain. She bandaged the guy's hand and left, and then she remembered that he could heal himself with magic, and she thought that it was in vain that she only gave away the handkerchief. The Duke of Sephra died around this period. He is not sick in any way. There were no incidents. He just died suddenly. Arshan took over his father's status. Chaos reigned at school, and various conversations began to circulate. Seer said that his father was always like this. He asked to quickly grow strength and kill him. Remembering Sephra's words, Arshan will most likely kill Duke Sephra. Father, begging to be killed. This family is just something. After the death of Duke Sephra, only one person could control Arshan. This is Lila. Camilla thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to play it safe. The guys talked about Jewett dropping out of school. He also heard that his family went bankrupt. They say that suddenly all their partners turned their backs on them. Maybe this is for the better. Everyone agreed because this idiot was obnoxious. Lila remembered that this was the same one who pestered her in the forest. And then she remembered Camilla. Then she couldn't even thank her properly. And I was already thinking about giving her a gift. The girls approached Layla and said that they were looking for her. They asked what she was doing. Layla replied that she was reading a book. The girls realized that this meant that she was free and asked if she had done all her homework. History homework is due today before lunch. Lila understood what they meant and said that she had made it yesterday. They noticed that it was cool, but they couldn't do anything. Yesterday, urgent matters suddenly arose at home, so she couldn't do it, and the second one also had no time for homework at all. The girl said that she needed to be cut off. My father said that if she fails, he won't let it go so easily. Lila told her to help her and told her what she could do based on her homework. She just told her not to copy it exactly. Like last time, otherwise they'll scold you again. The girl promised that she wouldn't. The girl walked away from her contentedly, but suddenly, Camilla snatched the book from her hands and asked if she was a fool. This is the same Lady Camilla. The girl noticed that they had not seen each other for a long time. Camilla asked if they knew each other. The girl asked Camilla to return it. Camilla asked if this thing was her property. The main character said that this is not even her notebook, and she asked why she was demanding it back. The girl assured her that Layla lent her. Camilla asked that girl if she had heard what rumors were circulating about her. It's about the fact that Duke Sorfil's daughter is a fortune teller. The rumors haven't reached me yet. Sometimes she even sees people's pasts. Camilla asked if she could see what she did yesterday. Yesterday after class, she met with her friends, and they had fun all night. They had so much fun that she returned home early in the morning. That's why I didn't do my homework. Camilla asked if I should tell them what they did yesterday, with whom, and what exactly they did. The girls apologized for the disturbance. To be honest, the main character does not know what happened next and what they did. It's good that she escaped. Camilla asked Lila why every time they see each other, she gets into trouble, and she helped her again. The mistress thought that Lila was a smart girl who would not let herself be offended. But it turned out that she doesn't know what to do when pressure is placed on her. The girl was shocked that guys like such clumsiness and weakness. Maybe she's just playing. Lila asked Camilla if she really had the gift of prediction. This is of course not true, but she remained silent. All Hebley County businesses have closed. In this regard, the Count will soon return to the village. Apparently, he had money left to buy a house in the village. If you raised your son in such a way that you need to take responsibility for him. Indeed, Mr. Jewett had quite a lot of problems. He suddenly became interested in him and asked to make inquiries about him and made sure that the whole family went bankrupt. The assistant was very interested in what the Duke was thinking about, and the gentleman thought about how he dared to approach her. The Duke asked what about the academy. The answer came from there immediately. They said that they would properly ensure security at the school. The donation was accepted. The director will come to visit him soon. The gentleman said that this was not necessary and ordered that he should monitor the students more carefully. By the way, he asked if the Duke had heard the news. It is said that the Duchy of Sephra is preparing to introduce a new magic stone. The Duke could not believe that they had found a new mine for extracting magic stones. Because of this magic stone, a magic tower was erected, and new magicians appeared. And all he did was keep an eye on Gobble, who monopolized the magic stones. Apparently, things are looking up for the dark magicians. It is unknown how reliable this information is, but they say that the Duchy of Sephra is only engaged in processing and selling magic stones, and someone else is doing the stand. That is, someone from the outside supplies them to me. Duke Sephra accepted that the request agreed to sell other people's stones. The Duke didn't believe it. He says that it cannot be that this person is doing such a thing. The assistant had to find out more about this, and as quickly as possible. Maybe something happened at the Duchy of Sephra. Father asked Arshan what he wanted. He said to listen to him carefully. He won't kill him. Now he doesn't care what he was thinking when he did this to him and Seer. He still hates him, and his father is disgusted with him. My father shouldn't think that he will die so easily. He will think and regret for the rest of his life for his terrible actions. Divine beast egg. There will be nothing like this in their family alone. Arshan is not going to pull him out. And he will prove to his father that even without this thing, you can become strong enough. He will show him that he will become stronger than everyone else without this beast. When he came out, he felt a very strong sense of relief, as if a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. He should not live and be tied to his father. A few days later, he was sitting under a tree. Camilla approached the guy and noticed that he had a lot of time. The girl asked why he was so wet. She assumed that he was swimming. Arshan said he was hot. Camilla pointed a finger at his arm. The guy didn't understand what she was doing. The girl apologized and noticed that he had a good body. It was immediately obvious that he was strong. At least this way you can admire these muscles. Camilla noticed that he trains really hard. Camilla stroked his face and said that his face was still red. Or maybe he got sick. Arshan took Camilla's hand and told her to leave him alone. She asked him why a magician needs to train so much with a sword. Because he puts other swordsmen in an awkward position. Or maybe this is why Ravi hates Arshan. Arshan is different from other magicians. Don't focus on just one thing. This may seem strange to them. Camilla added that her brother doesn't like him. Arshan didn't know who her brother was, but she asked her to tell him that he didn't like it either. Of course, Camilla played a role in this. Arshan didn't understand at all what made her laugh so much. By the way, Arshan asked what it was, but Camilla said that it was not for him. She prepared this especially for his younger brother Seer. She opened the cake and invited him to try it. Seer began to look much better. Arshan's mood was probably much more stable. Seer said that now he can stop eating because he is no longer hungry. The boy ran up to Camilla. He thanked her, apologized to his brother again, and said that he was very glad that Arshan was his brother. He really wants his brother to be happy. Finally, he said everything he wanted. Seer asked Camille to take care of his brother. The girl said not to ask her for such a thing. The boys themselves noticed something strange about the request. The only thing he can do at the moment is watch and keep the memories. Camilla asked Arshan how he was and if he was sad. The guy said not really. Camilla said she prepared it for him. You need to eat when you feel depressed. Arshan said she said it wasn't for him. The main character asked who said that because she brought it to give it to him, and he must eat everything. Camilla added that the gods would punish him if he left the food. The guy was silent and at first tried to refuse. Weekend. Duke Javelin noticed that it was very nice that she was at home and asked how she was doing. Camilla didn't understand why these people came here, because today is a day off. The girl greeted the dukes. Sorfel asked Sephra what his destiny was here. Someone replied that Javelin invited him with him. The duke is surprised that he came here only because of this. Camilla wanted to relax, break free and go shopping. Sephra asked if there were any problems. And Sorfel noted that he was not one of those who would come because of a simple invitation. Camilla decided to leave them alone. But the two dukes grabbed her hands and asked her to stop. The girl did not understand why and why. Javelin came today because of Camilla. That's why she can't leave. To begin with, they will go. The duke did not understand where they were taking his daughter. Duke Javelin, and even since last time, has been acting as if he has some business to do. But what does the Duke of Sephra need? And Pedro and Arshan also came there. But Pedro was not going to help, and Arshan was not going to interfere. Pedro asked what they should do now, and he suggested we go for a walk in the garden. Last time he looked there, and it was very beautiful there. Arshan was shocked by his proposal to go together. Pedro was surprised and asked if he liked it, because he would like it. Arshan said that he was some kind of crazy person. Ruville called them and said that if they were free, he would like to take a walk with them. Camilla sat with 3 divine animals. Javelin apologized and said that his chick was always naughty, that's why he was here. By the way, it seems that her tiger is tense because of his baby. Camille tried to calm King down. Such animals are very exhausting. Duke Sephra asked if they said that they both came to his daughter. He turned to the Duke of Sephra and asked if he had ever seen her before. Her divine beast is really small. Duke Sorfel said that he would grow up soon. Sephra believed that it was so small because it had been in the egg for a long time. The most important thing is that they found him. By the way, Sorfel recently heard some interesting news, and he asked Duke Sephra to tell him honestly where he got the magic stones from. After all, he processes other people's stones. Javelin asked if someone else owned these stones. Sorfel said not to remain silent, and Javelin did not understand why he was even doing this for others. It looks like we can leave them now. Camilla managed to slip away unnoticed. She thought that now she could go shopping. On the way, she met Rube and asked him what he was doing here. He had just seen young Mr. Ruville, Pedro, and Arshan. Camilla was shocked that all 3 were now together. They said that the 3 of them would go for a walk in the garden. The girl was very interested in what the 3 of them were talking about. However, she doesn't care. She better mind her own business. Dorman told the lady where they needed to go, and when they approached, who noticed that they were still following them. The main character did not understand at all why these 3 were pursuing her. Pedro laughed and noticed that he too wanted to walk around the fair, and Ruville said that it was dangerous for her to walk by herself, and Arshan was simply bored. Camilla simply couldn't believe that they really had nothing to do. She decided to just ignore them as if they weren't there. Dorman asked the gentleman if she wanted to buy it, and Camilla confirmed it. But this seems to be a man's thing, and the servant believed that she wanted to give it to the Duke. Camilla said something is wrong, because this is for Brother Ravi. Camilla said she'll take it. He gave her a bracelet, and she thinks that she should give something too. Pedro noticed that he apparently has a very good relationship with his brother. Camilla remembered them, and realized that it was somehow wrong that she only bought 1 gift. Arshan did not understand at all why he should give gifts to family members at all. Camilla didn't understand what was wrong with him. The seller shouted that he had a lot of beautiful jewelry and invited her to come and look before she left. Suddenly, Camilla saw Lila there and asked what she was doing here. The girls thought that it was very difficult for the grandmother, so she decided to help her. The girl asked if she knew her, but Lila said no. In her entire life, the main character meets such a naive fool for the first time. For the first time, I see such a stupid person who continues to smile despite being bullied. Lila asked the lady if she wanted to look around, because there are a lot of different beautiful things here. Madam asked her if she likes selling, Lila confirmed. In this case, if she likes it herself, then Camilla cannot say anything. Dorman noticed that she had already gotten to know her. Camilla said that from now on, she will pretend that they do not know each other. The servant thought that this was impossible. Camilla said to just walk and not look back. Behind them, the grandmother was beaten, because she sits here selling all sorts of junk and doesn't even think about paying the rent. She is already in debt for 2 months. The woman told the old woman that she should be aware that she had not paid for the insurance. Lila screamed for them to stop. That's why Camilla doesn't want to know her. This makes her very tired. And then she remembered that Ruville and Lila first met at the fair. The situation is not much different from the past. She couldn't believe that everything was starting gradually. Pedro remembered how his grandmother told him that he was very kind. He should always help people and should be polite to them. This is the only way he can become a good person. Lila asked what taxes. People who sell here pay taxes to the country, and I didn't understand what kind of money they were asking for. The man said that it was none of their business because they had their own law. But she goes where she shouldn't, and it's unclear who she even is. Pedro pulled out his sword and asked that uncle if he had been taught that he shouldn't talk to his elders like that. Bad people are very loud as always. Pedro apologized for the inconvenience and hoped that Lady Camilla had not been splashed with blood. Arshan said that everything was fine and he should take me into account. It's good that the dress didn't get dirty. This idiot is smiling despite stabbing a man with a sword. Pierre asked Camille what she was doing, believing that she was studying the map. She only recently looked at it. Camilla just had a reason to hurry. After yesterday's trip to the fair, she finally realized that she was surrounded by only crazy people. At school, he is very polite and showed only his good side. But what happened to him yesterday, it gives me goosebumps. Rub told the lady that a guest had come to see her. Camilla allowed me to enter. The girl did not understand at all what brought her here. Lila said that she came to thank her, because yesterday I really couldn't do it. Camilla told her to sit down. Lila noticed that the weather was very nice today and asked how about spending time outside. She also brought something for Camilla. They went to the garden. Layla said it was very beautiful there. Pierre noticed that she seemed to be a very good cook. The lady did not understand when he managed to tag along with her. Lila wished her a bon appetit, but she didn't know if she would like the food. She had helped her many times during this time, and Lila wanted to do something for her. But unfortunately, this is all she can do. Camilla was shocked that she prepared it all on her own. Lila said that she made this oil this morning. It was very tasty. She also grew the strawberries and blueberries herself and offers to try them. Camilla was shocked that she was also involved in agriculture. True, agriculture is a big word. Layla grows some fruits and vegetables for her family. Next summer you can try potatoes and corn. She planted a lot of them. Layla said that she would make something delicious for her. It was a strange feeling, but her soul felt calmer. It seems that she began to understand why everyone likes Lila. This year the weather is very good, so everything is growing well. Lila wanted to do something more worthwhile for Camille, so she apologized. But Camilla said she liked everything. The girl asked again, and the mistress said that she liked it this way, and she was very grateful. Pierre also wanted to try. The main character was thinking about whether she should give him food, but if she gives him a treat, other ghosts will know about it and will also ask for food. She will be constantly harassed. Camilla decided that she would take some with her. Midterm exams are over. The results are already known. Everyone just couldn't believe how it happened. Most recently, she was at the bottom of the rankings. This is simply incredible. Camilla comes first. It was just wonderful. Everything is as I expected, the main character. If everyone tried to solve the same test several dozen times, they would also get the maximum score. Emmy asked what the secret was to the increased grades. She believed that the girl asked the ghost to help her cheat. But she was in class for the entire exam, so it's impossible. Camille did not believe that her academic performance was such a sensation. She, for one, is more surprised by this. It's not entirely clear what's wrong with this guy. After all, they have never left the first line of the rating. But the most important thing is that Arshan took 5th place. He always handed over blank sheets. She was very interested in what happened to him. Arshan stood behind and asked who, I suppose, what was with him. The guy asks if she is so surprised by his grades, and he asked if she had ever seen a stupid magician. Camilla said yes, and he is. And by the way, he asked who it was with her. The girl said that this was the one he wanted to get rid of last time. Arshan didn't understand at all why she was hanging around with her all the time. Camilla laughed and said she didn't know. Arshan whispered in her ear that his father told her to come see them sometime. Sales will begin soon, so he said there were a couple of things to discuss. Camilla said to tell him that she would come by one of these days. The main character did not think that he would talk to his father, but he seems to be making contact. Lila approached her. She came with congratulations because she is the first in the ranking and is very proud of the lady. The girl said that when she comes home, she will definitely boast that her friend took 1st place in school. Her sincerity is sometimes frightening. Camilla asked if she said a friend. It sounds so strange. In that world, she never used that word. Lila said that last time the lady had such an appetite that she decided to make more butter and jam. She was grateful and thought Pierre would like it. Last time, she still shared Lila's delicacies with him. He said it was divine. Professor JB is back. Everyone asked how he was feeling. Everyone missed him very much and how his health was. The professor said that thanks to their care, he felt much better and apologized for making them worry. Lila was very pleased to see him in perfect health. Camilla said that another one has been added. Lila was very interested in what she was talking about, and what or who has been added. Camilla asked her brother if he was busy. Ravi stood up and said he was not busy, and he wondered what this time. In general, a killer has appeared here. Ravi asked what she said, and asked if she saw something again. Camilla said that she didn't see it, but they told her about it. Ravi asked if that was true. Camilla confirmed this. Camille just needs to know what people in this world think about murderers and would like to hear some advice. Ravi thought she was suspicious. The girl noticed that he reacted so sharply. Ravi once again warned her not to do anything dangerous alone, because this time even her father will not forgive her. Ravi asked, so what? Why did she ask this? That means killer. This is a very serious statement. In general, Camilla's friend accidentally found out that her acquaintance turned out to be a murderer. Ravi told her to tell her friend that she should turn him in. Camilla said that this is the case. She said that there is no evidence. Ravi asked how she knew that the man was a murderer if there was no evidence. The lady said there was no physical evidence, but the psychological evidence was very clear. People are dying one after another, but she doesn't know what to do to stop it. Ravi asked if the killer was her close friend. Camilla said that's not true. Ravi asked if there was a possibility that she would become his next victim. Camilla said that it seems not. Ravi told Camille to tell her to forget about it. Camilla said that this is the killer. What if someone else dies because of him? She said there was no evidence. If so, then it won't be possible to report him. She will only put herself in danger. Pretending that you don't know anything is the best solution. If there's a murder, the garrison will take care of it, so let him give up this idea. As she thought, the answer was to sit and do nothing. If he goes there, it won't end well. Camilla was very grateful for her brother's advice. She gave the gift to her brother. Ravi asks, what is this? This is a fox. Ravi said that he doesn't even know, because there is nowhere to put it on. Camilla said that if that's the case, then let him give it back. Ravi jumped up and said that she was very hot-tempered, and suddenly Ravi asked why she chose the fox. Camilla immediately ran away without answering. In fact, she does something that is not at all typical for her. In any situation, Camilla pretends that she didn't see or hear anything. The professor was glad to see Camilla. She also greeted him. She wondered if this was some kind of joke. As soon as the girl decided not to interfere, she immediately met with him. The reason he called her today. This is your past homework. Camilla asked if something was wrong with the homework. She believed she had done something wrong. The professor said it was the other way around. He called her because her research was just perfect, and he wanted to ask if she could use her history paper that she handed in to him. The materials from Duke Sorfel's family library seemed to help her a lot. Camilla allowed and asked if he called her just for this. The professor asked if he could look at materials from the original books. He really liked them. Camilla said that, unfortunately, no, because these are very important books for a father. It was a shame. He asked if she could help him then. Camilla asked again. Since she has read those books, she will be able to monologue to help him in his research. As far as he knows, those books are very difficult to get on the continent, so he asks her. Camilla asked if he was forcing her to do this. Camilla said that in this case she would refuse. She said that they would see him in class. Apparently he didn't think that she would refuse, because the professor was so surprised. If she didn't know anything, she probably would have agreed. But would anyone want to approach this professor after seeing this? A total of 7 female ghosts with signs of strangulation on their necks, who look at Professor Jaba with a very offended, hateful look. It's strange, but there are people to whom spirits often cling. She thought that Professor JB was one of those people too. At first there were 5 around him, then another one was added. The professor said that if you turn to this method, you can identify another solution. And when he returned, there were 7 of them, and everyone glares at Professor JB with their cruel gaze. Looking at this, there's less and less doubt about his criminal activities, but everything is too calm. As many as 7 people died, something obviously happened there. She thought this should be big news. Camilla didn't understand why no one was talking about this. It really gets on your nerves. The professor approached her, and he asked if she was feeling well, or maybe something had happened at her house. But Camilla denied everything. The professor said that if something bothers her, she can turn to him. She knows that she is consulting with students. Camilla said she was aware. This is one of the reasons for the professor's popularity. She noticed the ghost behind the professor. The earring is only on one ear. Camilla said that something actually happened, but not that important. She just lost an earring somewhere the other day. The girl said that the earring looked like a purple violet. The professor asked again. She tried to force something out of him, but it didn't work. Camilla said not to worry about it. She will buy new ones, and asked if she wanted to ask anything else. The professor would be grateful if she would reconsider his proposal. She can't sit idly by any longer. This is the only way left. Camilla started looking, and didn't understand if she was anywhere. He always hangs around her. Pedro asked Lady Camilla if she was looking for someone. The girl said that she was looking for someone. Pedro offered to help with the search, but she refused because he couldn't find her. Pedro asked if she was looking for Arshan, but she said that's not true. She turned to Mr. Pedro. The guy said she could just call him Pedro. Camilla was always fooled by that smile, because it was the first time anyone smiled so sweetly at her. She told him he could stop acting like that. Pedro was in complete shock. Dorman told her everything. When a soul incompatible with the body moves into it, everything goes wrong, and the people around them turn away from such people. They receive no love and are considered annoying. That is, this smile is fake. Camilla said that she is saying that it is not necessary to be kind to those who are indifferent to him. She knows that he is a good person, so she may not behave like that with him in the future. If his smile is not real, then most likely Pedro wants to look like a good person, and that is why he behaves this way. But it gets boring when he is always so friendly and offers his help. Camilla said that she would probably go. Pedro doesn't care, but continues to be polite. Good, kind Pedro. Mother told Pedro that she was very happy that she had him. The lady said that the lady was very lucky, because she has a very obedient son. His mother had health problems all her life. Due to constant illness, it was difficult for her to walk. Mom told Pedro that they had to go. Therefore, his duty was to always be next to her and help her move. Mom was happy to see him serious. The maid said that they would now take care of the mistress, and added that Pedro was very caring, but it gave her even more pleasure when someone else praised him. Her patrol is very caring and kind. At such moments, a blush appeared on her face, as if she was completely healthy. When her son smiles, she becomes happy. That's why Pedro always smiled widely. Mom said that he should always help the weak. That's why he always helped others. He never showed that he disliked anyone. Only in this situation would Mom be happy, even after her death. Pedro, as before, was kind, and a smile was the only expression on his face. It wasn't that bad. Being kind means not harming someone. Thanks to this kindness, he was always surrounded by people's attention. However, he doesn't know why he did what he did that day. In any other similar situation, he would have intervened immediately. Then he wondered why Camilla was so persistently pursuing him. He's tired. However, after he left, he felt uneasy. Either way, they fight over him. Pedro decided that he could not leave and leave everything like this. He could not stand the feeling of shame and responsibility, and returned, but this situation had already been resolved. They were both gone. Camilla still hangs around him every day, therefore he will still have a chance. The man said goodbye to everyone, but after that, he could not see her for some time. A year had passed since his mother's death, and he and his friends came to her grave. Then he saw Camilla again. He was sure that she would run after him. After all, it has always been like this. But after that day, she began to behave completely differently. She stopped haunting him, and all his insecurities and worries disappeared. He became more interested in her. Since when did she stay close to Arshian? This seemed strange to him, and it irritated him even more. He didn't understand why it was him. He is the one who doesn't care about other people's views, and he does as he pleases. Pedro felt strange. Seeing these two who don't care about people's opinions, Pedro had the desire to come between them, and after she said that he should stop behaving like that. The frame wondered what she was talking about. The guy couldn't answer her. He felt that she recognized something that he himself did not know about. Good man, not genuine kindness. Can a person who shows kindness not sincerely be good? The girls ran up to him and asked him what he was doing here. If he was free, then how about drinking tea with them? Pedro was very interested in the expression on his face now. The ladies were simply shocked. One thing he knows for sure, he doesn't smile. Perhaps this facial expression is his real one. Pedro smiled and agreed to drink tea. He again remembered his mother's words. No matter what he hears in his direction, he will remain the same, following these ladies. He smiled widely. As wide as never before. Camilla looks for her everywhere, but she doesn't appear. This is also what Pedro encountered. Just a waste of time. It's actually not clear where she is. Suddenly a voice was heard from behind, and the girl realized that it was Emmy. Camilla said she looked for her everywhere. Where had she been all day? Emmy hugged the lady and asked why she was looking, believing that she missed her. Camilla asked to help her. She wants to ask her for something. Emmy was almost in shock with tears in her eyes that she was asking her for help. Camilla didn't understand at all why she was so happy. First, she must go after Camilla, because she needs to show her something. Camilla asked Emmy if she knew Professor JB. Ghosts hang around the professor. Emmy saw it. To be honest, the main character wants to know their stories. She asked Emmy if she could find out about them. When, where, and how they died, and who killed them, and whether the professor really killed them. If they find it difficult to make contact, she can lead them to Camilla. But Emmy was silent. The main character did not understand what it was, and she believed that she was simply afraid. Emmy said there was no need to ask those women, and she touched her neck. The main character didn't notice before, but Emmy also has a wound on her neck. Professor JB is her older brother, the older brother of the ghost Emmy. Rub greeted the mistress. She reacted very dryly, so he offered a cup of hot tea, but the lady refused. The man noticed that she looked very tired. This surprised the girl quite a bit, and she asked again. As a child, she always felt better after eating a cup of soup. Rub asked what the soup should be like, but it didn't matter. Camilla asked where Dorman was. He was very busy arranging the mistress's room in a new way. After all, the season has changed. It's time for a change. He always runs around Camilla with his help, but when needed, he is not there. Let them decorate the room. Rub took his leave and was ready to leave. Camilla stopped him and said that she had a request for him, but this request is not for the butler. Rub didn't understand at all what she was talking about. Black Shadow. Camilla wants to ask something from the head of this place. Rub said he didn't understand what she was talking about, and he didn't seem to quite understand her. Camilla said that she knows that he is the head of the Black Shadow. In general, the lady is very tired, so they will meet a little later. Camilla went to her room. The Black Shadow is a secret organization that has been collaborating with the Sorfel family since its founding. Their job is to collect information. By order of the head of the family, this organization is dispersed throughout the continent, disseminating all kinds of information, and also carrying out secret missions. Camilla learned what only the head of the family knows from the former head of the organization, Darina. No wonder, he really knows too much for an ordinary butler. In fact, the girl knew that he was not so simple. Besides, it was strange to see an older man with such a good physique. It is said that Rube was chosen as the receiver, while Darren was the head. The other side of the Sorfel house butlers is the Black Mist. Rub entered the room and asked if the mistress was looking for him. The main character did not know whether he came not as a butler, but as the head of the Black Fog or not. The only person whose orders the Black Fog carries out is the head of the Sorfel family. They have no reason to bow down to anyone else. Camilla ordered him to investigate the affairs of these people. Rub asked who it was. These are the ones who are already dead. Rub must find out in detail how they died, and what happened in the area after their death. Based on what Emmy told her, Professor JB really killed all the women. Camilla asked the ghost if her older brother really killed all those women. Emmy confirmed all this. They both grew up in an orphanage, but it so happened that she was adopted before him, and the foster family abused her. The people who adopted Emmy made her a slave. She could have been starved for any reason. After 8 years, my brother got back on his feet and came to pick her up, but her adoptive parents demanded a huge amount of money in exchange for her. The brother made every effort to take her away, but during this time, Emmy had already died. The story Emmy told her was terrible. Her adoptive parents said she committed suicide, but in reality, Emmy was strangled by her adoptive parents. From that moment on, her brother began killing women. They say that something seemed to have jammed inside him, and he began to kill women. Let's say he went crazy after his sister's death and started killing. It is unclear why he killed women who were innocent of anything, and not the adoptive parents who killed my sister. Camille needs to know why JB did this. Rub understood her, but there's something he wants to know. How did she know that he was the head of the Black Shadow? Although no, how did she know about this organization? The main character understood that she could not say that his teacher, who became a ghost, told her about this. Camilla said that she saw. He looks at him and constantly sees something. People unknown to her call him the head. I also saw how much her father appreciated him. Rube said he wouldn't believe it because he didn't understand how she found out about the organization's name that way. The girl noticed that Rub seemed to have forgotten that she was the one who found the egg of the divine beast. Rub agreed. Camilla said that if there are no more questions, then she asks to quickly find out about everything. Rub said that he was not allowed to fulfill such requests, but this time he would make an exception. The lady thanked him and told him to tell her father about this. This puzzled Rub, and he asked again. Camilla asked him again. Rub agreed to do so for now. A chapter is a chapter. He looked completely unusual. Today she doesn't want to do anything else. She can't do anything anyway until the investigation is over. We need to sleep and rest. 4 days later. The professor was simply delighted that Camilla would really help him with his investigation. He asked if it was true. Camilla confirmed this and asked what exactly he needed help with. He will show what he needs, and she will need to copy the appropriate excerpts from the books. He was very grateful for this help. They agreed to see each other a little later. The professor will prepare the necessary materials and tell her. After receiving the results of the investigation from Rube, she learned what all the women the professor killed had in common. And again I realized that this freak is a real psycho. The murdered women had 2 things in common. They were foster children, and all the girls were abused by their foster families. Camilla didn't understand what he was thinking about. It is completely unclear why he killed those women who lived in suffering, like his sister, and one more thing, what she fell asleep about. The killer's next target is her. She wondered if others thought the same thing, that her family treated her poorly. Duke asked Camilla if something happened to her at school, but the girl said that she was just thinking about her own thoughts a little. Her father told her that if something happened, she should tell him immediately. Camilla agreed with a smile. It seemed to the girls that he wanted to say something else. The man asked how she liked his suit. He plans to wear it to the Imperial meeting. Camilla said it was very beautiful, and the color suits him too. But she didn't understand why he was wearing it, because that Imperial meeting would be next week. Duke is simply worried that there is something missing from the suit. He noticed that if there was some decoration there, it would look much better. Camilla herself said that it would be nice. The man noticed that the fox would not have suited him, and it would be nice to hang something in the shape of a tiger. Camilla believed that the tiger was because it was the divine animal of the family. Camilla remembered the fox decoration. Last time that nasty Ravi said he didn't like it, and in the end I put it on myself. The main character didn't even know that the Duke liked such jewelry. But the expression on his face. He asked Camilla again if she thought the tiger would suit him. Now everything was clear. He was begging for a marriage for himself. Rudville noticed that if you look at it this way, then one piece of jewelry would look good on his uniform. Camilla did not understand what was happening to him, but now the girl understood that next time she would need to buy 2 more brooches. And then in the near future, as soon as possible. Camilla came to Professor JB's house. She understood that she needed to pull herself together. This is a murder house in which all innocent women were killed, but Camilla has no turning back. The professor greeted the lady. He apologized that he asked her to come to him on her day off. He just urgently needs materials for research. Camilla said that it was okay because everything was fine. At first glance, this is the most ordinary house. Even though he is a murderer, his life is not at all how she imagined. The professor told her to sit down. The man asked what kind of tea she preferred. Camilla said that any, at his discretion. I think this is the same box Emmy was talking about. Camilla needs to pick her up, because this is direct evidence. The tea tastes good, but the professor doesn't know whether Camilla will like it. The lady said it had a nice scent. The man invited me to try it quickly. The cup immediately flew out of Camilla's hands. The professor noticed that she was such a poor thing, and he said that he would help the lady and she would feel better in an instant, so she should not worry about anything. But when he came closer, Camilla jumped up and hit him. She threw Ravi's bracelet on him. He got caught. The main character thought she was going to die. For some reason, she suddenly remembered her childhood. Now everything is in order. We need to come to our senses. Camilla is no longer the same little girl. The professor shouted that she had to pass out and did not understand how this could be. Camilla told him what she had found out in advance. Having lured him into the house, he commits murder by giving the victim tea and sleeping pills. Every time the same tactics. Now the professor understood that she knew from the very beginning that he was a murderer. He was very sorry. It would have made the two of them happy. Camilla didn't understand at all what kind of nonsense he was talking about. The professor said that it was hard for her to live with her fake family. Dying is better than living in these torments. The lady asked for this or the reason he killed other women. He doesn't know how she found out about it, but they wanted it themselves. They certainly found happiness, because he freed them from suffering, and he, in turn, is glad that he was able to see how happy they became. Camilla understood that he seemed to be completely out of his mind. Emmy said it was all because of her. He thinks that he is to blame for the death of his sister. He suffered greatly because of this. Therefore, I decided to justify myself in this way. I decided that death is not torment, but the only way to escape reality. He didn't want a woman in the same situation she was to suffer. Therefore, he came to the murders to give them freedom. Camilla didn't even know what to answer to this. What Camilla has never heard in her entire life. She ordered it to stop because she had already heard enough complete nonsense from this man. No matter how Emmy puts it to her, her brother is a murderer. The professor said that looking into emptiness, she was talking to herself. He knew that she had serious mental problems. This is all because her family doesn't love her. Camilla told him to shut up. It's better to die already than to live. Camilla grabbed him by the hair and asked why on earth he decides for her. Who is he to judge the happiness of others? The girl said that now she will show him the whole truth. The man didn't understand at all what she was talking about. Camilla asked if he remembered Lady de Brew. She had a lover. They were planning to get married after graduation, and she was ready to leave home and become his wife. And Lady Ruri saved some of her pocket money and made donations every month to the orphanage where she grew up, because there were children there who were very dear to her. Lady Rothiel has been saving money since childhood in order to open her own business in the future. She wanted to leave the family after graduation and start living for herself. The professor shouted that this couldn't happen. He had never heard of this. This is a lie. Camilla asked if he didn't believe the Duke's informant. After all, she can show him the investigation papers right now. Who is he to decide for them what happiness will be for them? The lady suggested judging the professor using his own method, because it seems to her that he is not particularly happy either. She took off his chains, and she grabbed him by the neck. She couldn't believe that he was asking for his life to be spared. She didn't understand how he dared to ask to be saved if he himself had killed so many people. Camilla asked if he was happy. After all, wasn't he the one who said that death is happiness? The girl was interested in what he would say after being on the verge of death. Ironically, she asked if he was still happy. Rub came into the house. She asked him if Shar had time to film everything. Everything worked out for them. Everything was filmed from the moment she lost consciousness until the moment when Professor JB confessed everything. This was the first time Rub had been so nervous. Thanks to him, this plan was a success. Camilla was grateful. Rub asked the lady what she was doing. The box contained the belongings of the women he killed. He collected the belongings of all his victims. He's a real psychopath, but still, these things will help to finally solve this case. After this, women will be able to calmly move into another world. Camilla asked Rub to take care of the rest. The butler accepted the order. Now there will be no more killings. Finally, the series of injustices has ended. Ravi told his father that she had given up again. Camilla denied this. She thought it had miraculously resolved itself. Rub, of course, set him up too. Told them about Professor JB's case. It would be better if he told her about it himself. The father asked Camilla what she was even thinking about when she did this. Become bait for a serial killer. She can't even imagine how scared he was. Camilla said that Rub forgot with her. This angered the Duke even more. Camilla admitted that she acted rashly. The girl knew that he would be angry, but she didn't think that he would be this angry. And she didn't understand why Rudville was staring at her like that. She's scared. Ravi said that she needed to be scolded even more because she had completely lost her fear. The guy didn't understand how it occurred to her to go there. It turns out that her story about the killer turned out to be connected with her and not with her friend. What a fool he was for believing her because she has no friends. The brother asked Camilla if she knew that she was walking around with a bruise. She was touched. Ravi told her to really come to her senses. The father believed that Camilla did not tell him about this because she did not trust him. But the girl said that she could not say because there was no evidence. Her father asked if that was why she decided to become a bait herself, all because she couldn't let other women go through something similar. The Duke asked what would happen if something happened to her. Camilla assured him that she didn't mean it that way. He's worried about her. The father said that she was probably very tired. Therefore, he can go to his room and rest. The Duke asked if his daughter was doing well. After all, she found out that something was wrong and did not pass by. He noticed that she was all into him. The brothers were shocked by his behavior because their father was not always so gentle. The court rendered a verdict in this case. The defendant confessed to everything he had done, and all the evidence provided was related to the victims. Therefore, we are convicted and sentenced to death. The trial in the case of Professor JB passed quite quickly, and the execution took place almost immediately after the verdict was pronounced. In the end, everything turned out like this. She was worried about her brother's crimes, but now it's all over and Emmy can finally be at peace. But Camilla said that nothing was over, and this is just the beginning. She asked if she knew why all these crimes were almost unknown, because the victims' parents hid their deaths. Seeing their death, which was set up by the professor, they thought that the girls committed suicide due to bullying within the family. The main character decided that it would bring them all to light and hand them over to the press. By the way, the girl asked who adopted Emmy. A week later, in Sephra's palace, the Duke took a step and checkmate Arshan. He won again. The father asked what he was thinking about. Arshan thought about the rune. He didn't think he could trust just anyone. He asked his father who she trusted so much, since he lent her for nothing. The father said that he trusted him. A guest came to see him. Camilla noticed that they were keeping their promise, Duke Sephra and Arshan. The Duke noticed that she did a good job. I didn't even need to look after her. The girl came to return what she borrowed from him. The Duke thanked her for helping Seer's soul approach the other world, and he would like to somehow reward her for this. She said that as a reward, she wanted the two of them to play chess for an hour every day. Seer would be very happy to see them play together. Arshan lost again today. Camilla told him he needed to try harder. Camilla was grateful that he trusted her with the rune. Thanks to him, they were able to successfully complete everything. The lady said that she needed him to help children who were being abused, and he, in turn, maintains his strength through violence. Camilla was delighted that he remembered this. The Duke noticed that painful stories are inevitably remembered. The truth is always something that hits us very hard. Divine Beast Rune has a special skill. An animal can take the form of a dead person and present it in front of the selected object in this form. Using Runa's ability, they taught Emmy's adoptive parents a lesson. A beautiful, dark, divine beast. Camilla didn't understand why Arshan was staring at her like that. The reception time had come to an end, so the Duke asked Arshan to escort the lady to the exit. Arshan told Camille to look at what had become of her. I asked which ghost she was helping this time. The girl didn't understand what he was talking about. People are talking about this everywhere. The fact that Camilla got into a fight with Professor JB and was seriously injured. Camilla really suffered, but the scale of the injuries was exaggerated. Moreover, she is already completely fine, Arshan said to call him next time. Camilla asked again, and he repeated the same thing again. The girl didn't understand why he was there at all. But Arshan left. Camilla, horrified, asked if he wanted to explain himself, but the guy had already left. He's so weird. Emmy asked if she had finished yet. Camilla asked if she followed her all the way here. After all, she must go to another world. Emmy said that she should say goodbye to her before leaving. From now on, Emmy will go towards her dream. Now she has nothing to worry about. She will roam the continent as much as she pleases. In general, she had long dreamed of traveling, especially in ancient abandoned territories. Emmy was grateful that she stopped her brother's crime and avenged her. She will never forget this. Camilla wished her a safe journey, and she hoped that they would never meet again. Emmy said it was too much. The ghost promised that when she finished traveling, she would come to see her. Camilla told her she didn't have to come back. But if he does come back, then she will listen to stories from her trips, but only very briefly. A few days after those events, a reception was held to celebrate Duke Javelon's birthday. Camilla came with her father. The ladies were shocked that Camilla looked different. Everyone had never noticed that she was so beautiful. The girl didn't want to come here. Well, the invitation was sent personally by the Duke, so she couldn't help but pay a visit. Moreover, she missed the right moment to refuse to attend this event. And both older brothers also merged beautifully. Father told Camilla that the weather is wonderful today, but she decided to think in a positive way. It's great that she can spend more time with her father. But the reason why she is unable to hold a heavy sigh is that child, Elisa Javelon. Camilla thanked the Duke for the invitation. He greeted her because he was waiting. Pedro noticed that Mill's bowl was incredibly beautiful today. The girl was grateful to him for the compliment. Elisa ran up to Camilla and started hugging her, calling her little sister. She missed her very much. This was funny for the main character, because in reality that girl can't stand her. You will never find such a two-faced fox in the world. Ravi's company would suit her very well. The Duke of Sephra has just arrived. Arshan didn't come. Well, nothing surprising here. He hates crossing paths with Pedro. Sephra was surprised that Camilla was also here. The girl, in turn, asked if he had been doing well all this time. Camilla hoped that Runa was doing well, and she was once again grateful for the help provided last time. Jetty didn't understand at all why those two pretended to be close. He approached Camilla and asked why she pretended not to know him, and greeted this boy joyfully. Duke Sorfel seemed more pleased to see his daughter than himself. Havilon said that he was really the main character of tonight. Miss Camilla is literally surrounded by dukes. The guest had no idea what was going on. The main character is accustomed to such views. For her, a former actress, such interest is part of her life. Elisa invited her sister to go greet her friends. She asked her father if she could take her little sister with her. Camilla asked her to stop because it was a birthday party and she should get a gift. The girl congratulated the Duke again and gave him a gift. When she opened it, the gentleman was shocked. Camilla said that the gift contains protective magic, so it will certainly protect him. The guest believed that this could not happen. It is impossible to place magical formulas in such a small object. They say that the more powerful the magic formula, the larger the magic stone should be. Everyone thought it was a fake, but Sephra guaranteed quality, because he himself put the formula in this brooch. Sorfel asked if he had kept in touch with his daughter all this time. Sephra said that it was the child who came up with the idea of making a brooch from a magic stone. He is not bad at this issue, so she turned to him for advice. Duke Sorfel noted that this meant that he already knew that he also received a gift. His brooch also contains a magical formula, and his daughter personally attached an eyebrow to his chest. The brooch was modeled after King, but on her father's chest it looks a little childish. Camilla noticed that they all shared the same hope that the people dear to them would not be harmed. She gave the brooch for a reason, and not because of her good attitude towards him. The girl actually has a good reason. For ignoring her until now, he will become an advertising model for her brooch and pay for everything properly. Moreover, she gave the brooch to Ruville, so it will soon become an extremely popular item among young knights.